Hey, cat eyes. Trying to figure something out. I want to be able to stream on mine without having to leave to other guys. Do this so I can see when you guys are chatting. What up, Nick? Still safe in Florida, I see. Oh, really? Yeah, actually, I was watching the storm thing and it looked like it was pretty fucking close. That's crazy. Stay safe, man. Damn. It's a long ass time to wait. I'm currently trying to figure out a way to link the two Google Hangouts so I can stream on mine and the other dude can stream on his. So I'm sorry for all the dead air. I'm trying to figure this out, man. Damn. He wants me to go run it. He wants me to go over to his Hangout, but I don't want to that way. I think I'm figuring it out. Hang on. Thank you. Wish I could figure this out though. See if this will work. Whoa. That's a whole lot of stuff I don't understand. This shit is complicated. I should not be the one doing this. No, it's like the guy's like, no, I don't want to stream on yours. I want you to stream on mine. I have 5,000 subscribers. And I'm like, dude, I don't even have 200. Why don't you stream on mine? Shit is complicated. I don't like doing this. One person tells me I can't, period. But Google Hangout says I can. But the gibberish I'm looking at on this damn screen over here. I probably shouldn't have waited till like 45 minutes before. Wait, I think I'm getting somewhere. I think I found it. So far, so good. What the hell am I supposed to do? All right, I think I may have figured it out. Hang on. If it doesn't work here, then I'm done trying. All right, I give up. I don't care. I'm not going over to his shit. That's all there is to it. God damn, there's a lot of people here. Just listen to me do nothing. What up, y'all? I was trying to figure out a way to double stream so that guy could, because he wants me to go over his shit, but I don't really want to. That's what actually I was going to ask you. What was that? But I don't think there's really much time for it. But I'm not. I decided I'm not going over there. Refuse. Ain't gonna happen. That guy from Logic stream earlier, the Thecynix or whatever the fuck it was. He's the guy that was like, all conspiracies are hoaxes. He wants to go over that shit, and I told him I'd send him at what time I'd want to start, and he out of nowhere was like, "Oh, no, just do it on my page because I have more subs." And I'm like, I don't really want to go on yours to do it. I want to build my shit up. So I'm gonna do the dick move and just invite him over to mine, see what happens. I should be able to link him, shouldn't I? Seems pretty simple. I wonder if he's gonna be pissed. Oh well, I don't give a shit. Yeah, that guy. Wow, how are you gonna say you're awful at it, Bob? I've seen your shit. It is hooked the fuck up. I don't know why that doesn't even look right. I know Todd thought that shit was funny. It's like, what the hell's going on over here? I wasn't even actually in the chat when it was going on. I'm gonna see if I can find him real quick. piss them off. And all I know is I am not. I've decided I'm not going to his page to do that shit. He wants to learn something, he can come here. And that's just the way I roll. What the hell? He doesn't have 5,000. He only has like 200 something. There you are. No, man, I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Hang on. Scare me. Yeah, that's the last thing that happened. I don't roll like that, man. I don't know how to be scared. I'm trying to teach you some shit. All right, I sent it out. Mm. Hey, Tiff. You want to come hang out in the hangout? You don't even get a choice. You have to, especially because you keep yelling at me. I did send you a link. Hey, Tiff. What's up?
Not much. I'm just trying to find my remote so I can turn my TV down a little.
All right. Sent the link out. Hey, Nick, are you close to Dread? All right. Damn, man, how many counts you got? Still waiting.
All right, I'm here now.
Dude, I sent the link. I could tell because that's your avatar. Same one. Go check your man, I'm about to go all the way out. Fucking do this the hard way. Damn it, man. You're the one with all the fucking subscribers. You should know how to get into people's shit. All right. Here we go. Let's add. And all I see is your other accounts when I do it this way. That's right, peoples. He has like three, like five. What the hell? How many accounts you got, man? No, that's not the one I want. Try this again. Wait, you're in here. What the fuck? Ugh. You're in here. I see you. Your name is right there. All right. That actually will be probably a little easier. Damn, man, you make this all complicated. I don't know enough about this shit to do it all smooth.
Are you having issues, Sean?
No, he's having issues. I invited you just fine.
What are you trying to add?
God damn it. I gotta sign into my Twitter account and shit. I don't even use it. That's the worst part. Yeah, Dell is backing out and shit. There we go. All right, man. I sent it. Do you have the? Oh, I don't know about all that. I don't know why it doesn't work for you. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Where the hell is Danny? Why can't you guys ever be in the same place at the same time?
He's got to work tomorrow, so he laid down.
Oh, that's so cute.
Be nice.
Nicholas, I really wouldn't care. It would just prove my point if he did give it out.
I don't understand
It's
why
not like
you're
I've been.
having problems. It shows he's in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm not crazy. Oh, jeez. Now you need a minute. See, obviously, it was not me. I was not the problem. Just want to let you know, man. I got a whole list of conspiracy theories that I know about. You need to pick some of them. You can't just say all of them.
What is he saying?
He was saying, well, first of all, he wanted me to explain flat Earth, and I told him I'm not quite ready to do all that shit yet, but I can do the conspiracy theory ones. And he was like, chemtrails and HARP. And I'm like, oh god, man, the shit you can go online and see.
Wow.
You don't need me for that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta do this. Hang on. There you go. Who else is in here that needs one of these? Okay, all right. Yeah. Sorry, Bob. All of our streams can't look like yours does. It's his new name. He hates it. That's why I do it.
Kind of like your name is Mac.
I mean, realistically, if he brings trolls, then I could just add them to my list. Make me happy. Because Tiffany over here, she's going crazy. She's become like the fucking troll fucking sniper of all time.
I'm telling you, they're obsessed with me. They have been following me everywhere, making accounts of me claiming I'm a white supremacist and shit.
Yeah, when they start doing background checks and telling your info on fucking on streams, then you start talking to me. You're
He
still
came into Poncho saying I was a white supremacist, and Poncho goes, "Well, why would she be married to Danny? He's Puerto Rican."
he is not. I told you he looks white in his picture, and you even said he puts makeup on. Haha, it's all in the
No,
world.
I
Everybody
never
knows
said he
that.
puts makeup on. I said I use flash on my picture, Sean. What are you talking about?
Makeup, flash, it's the same thing.
You're on crack.
Man, that dude is becoming a conspiracy theory. What the fuck?
So I take it he's not
Hey,
actually
John
gonna jump
here.
in here or what?
I don't know. It's been a lot longer than a minute. No, this stream doesn't work unless he shows up because I didn't have anything else to talk about. Just kind of figuring out what the fuck he thinks. Oh yeah, that's how I run all my streams. I forgot.
Pretty much.
So I swear, you think I'd fucking figure something out? You're like, I'll show you. Like, I'll even show you exactly what my prep for the show. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love this. There it is. Where is it? Okay, there it is. See, look, this is my prep for the show. These little lines right here, and that's two. That's one thing right there. That's just one conspiracy. I was like, why the fuck am I even doing this? I already know it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Wow. At least I'm actually awake this time.
I know you've been sleeping for like 2 days.
Hey, I was up forever before that on stream.
All right. Well, I needed a contingency plan, and there's people here, so we'll show him how he doesn't know. That doesn't make any damn sense.
Oh
Thank
wait, I
God.
think
There
he's
he is.
here.
I was worried that you weren't going to show.
Is he here or what?
He's here.
Hello.
There we go.
What up?
Heard you bitching me not being here, so I decided to come over.
I was like, man, it's taking forever.
Well, I had to make a video to tell him to come over here because you didn't want to do it over on mine for some reason.
Because I'm a nobody. I need subs, man. I want to be a somebody.
Well, the best way to do that is go over to the larger person because I'll get like 1,000 views on my video.
Yeah, but now you're going to bring your 1,000 views here.
No, that's not how it works.
I'm sure you were like, I'm going to kill the flat earther. I'm going to make him look stupid, right?
No, I just got questions. Hey man, I love conspiracies, and I know I understand how you're a little worried that you think I'm going to troll you and stuff.
Whoa, no, I'm not worried about that at all. I honestly, I care less.
Well, no, I heard you saying it.
Hang out.
I heard you saying it, but it's okay.
I'm not really worried.
I'm just curious because I always hear conspiracy people talk, but I never hear them actually answer questions from the other side.
I'll answer all. I mean, there are ones I don't know about, and I'll let you know I don't know about them because there's no reason.
We need to get Charm in here with us if she'll get in here.
Charm's mean to me now. She's just mean.
Charm's a sweetheart.
I'll only invite people that won't be mean.
Invite Charm or I'll yell at you.
So I heard you say that you don't know anything about flat Earth.
No, I know quite a bit about flat Earth. I'm a newbie, so if it comes
still
down
learning like we all are.
And I have like different viewpoints on what things are and how they work, so I'm still learning. So there's no way in hell there's no way I can really say I know much of anything. Oh no, Cat, you can't ban them. You can't ban them. Hang on.
So what?
You can delete them. Cat. Him. Wait, that's no. I promised him he could hang out. Him and Nick, they're gonna go at it.
He's the one that likes to talk shit about my daughter. No.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bill.
Talk shit about my 5-year-old daughter. So no.
See, I even told him I didn't invite him on the show, but I didn't know all that.
Yeah, Cat, ban him back. I'm not in the mood to deal with him tonight.
But see, that's also because you don't talk to me.
Uh, you were being a dick, so I wasn't talking to you, but
Why
that's
you gotta air
besides the
all?
point.
Hey, you know what? There's people here. You don't have to
Hey,
air
you
all
brought it
shit out.
up, buddy.
I apologize. Damn, people are mean,
You brought it up.
man. You see why I got issues with all these people? They're crazy. All
Oh,
right.
whatever.
Go ahead, man. If you got some questions, let me know.
Well,
I'm gonna
apparently
just ramble on
you
if you
didn't
don't.
want to. Well, right. But, Jesus, this is not going to be fun.
Oh,
So,
it's gonna
what
be great.
conspiracies? What
No,
conspiracies
no.
do you?
Wait. You asked me about a conspiracy that you wonder about. Because
Yeah,
if you
flat
were,
Earth, but you said you don't know anything about it.
that's not a conspiracy, man.
That it. Of,
That's real shit.
do you know? Okay, what's the word conspiracy mean?
Basically, when people, when people are conspiring against somebody or talking or making up something to persuade someone else's views to something else.
It just means two or more people getting together to do something. That's all it fucking means. Because I understand most people hear conspiracy and they go, "Oh, that's a negative thing." It's like the crazy people. No, it's just a conspiracy. There's true conspiracies.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So you don't believe if HARP is real for one. I know you said that.
Well, the actual place is real, but making a hurricane to flood Houston, yeah, no, that's retarded.
Okay. Well, HARP doesn't exist, or HARP doesn't. They don't do anything anymore. They kind of closed down their facilities a few years ago. But you do know that HARP was involved with Saudi Arabia making rain for the past 15, 20 years, right?
No.
Yeah. So Saudi Arabia gets 3 good rainstorms a year, and they do it by putting iron into the sky. You can Google that one. Did
Yeah,
you
I heard you talking about this, and
have you tried
I've
to look for it?
well, yeah, well, what they do is they'll spray shit in the air to try to help the rain clouds out. That's true. That's just a
No, it,
chemical
it
thing.
makes rain.
No,
Yeah,
Fake
but that's what HARP
Sean.
does.
they don't.
That
They can't just
that
go up there and spray this stuff and automatically make rain clouds. That's not how it works.
Hey,
that's
Sean.
absolutely how it works. Yes, Tiff.
Sean. Charm's
Yes.
asking, how is she mean to you? She told me to ask you.
I don't know. I'd say that about all girls,
That's what I figured.
except for Cat Eyes. She's always nice to me. No, but yeah, that's making weather. I mean, that's what HARP was known for. I never said HARP made the hurricane, but you know who does? Let's see. See, if I don't know, I know somebody does. But no, HARP making rain is making weather, and HARP 100% when they spray that iron into the sky over in Saudi Arabia, it makes the clouds and it makes rain. Matter of fact, they have 3 scheduled rains, and they've had it that way for the past 10, 15 years.
Well, that's just
And
ridiculous.
it's a
Where'd you
ridiculous how
Where'd
they
you
do
get?
that. Saudi Arabia,
Because
they told everybody.
where did you? No, I'm just wondering what did you see that convinced you of this?
Saudi Arabia going, because we get no rain, HARP has helped us by spraying iron into the sky to make rain clouds, and we have them scheduled. Otherwise, they wouldn't get rain at all, except for maybe once every 5 years.
So you went to Saudi
This
Arabia and the prince told you this?
No, Saudi Arabia. It was in the fucking news, dude. Like,
Okay, what? Where? That's what I'm saying. Where?
okay, okay.
If
You
you
know what?
Google
For
that, you
this
don't
one,
find
for,
anything.
for this one time, I'm going to look. But if I have to look for any other conspiracy theories you're wondering about,
If you have to prove your point, you're going to get mad. Is that what you're about to say? Come on.
oh, buddy, this ain't
And
mad.
this is
Trust me.
why. Well,
This
this is
isn't
why people have a hard
mad.
time taking.
Breathe. Calm down, man. This isn't mad. Trust me. This is nowhere near mad.
Okay, this is why people have a hard time taking conspiracy theory people serious because they don't want to actually have the conversation. They just want to say, "No, I heard it that Saudi Arabia said this, and that's what it is."
Okay, well, if you want to have a discussion about like 9/11, do you think 9/11 was an inside
Okay,
job?
no. Well, you might be able to convince me that people knew that was kind of happening and they just didn't stop it. But if you're gonna tell me that Bush put bombs in the building, it'd be kind of hard to believe that one.
dude, I got pictures of him walking out of the world. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, with the harp, the reason
See,
the harp
that's
one,
funny.
the, the reason I acted that way with harp is because honestly, it was in the new. It was public knowledge. It wasn't, it wasn't hidden. It wasn't even considered a conspiracy. Um,
Well,
with
I know they
for nine,
spray chemicals to help out clouds. I've seen that, or
yeah,
yeah, not like personally, but I've read stuff on that.
yeah, that's what they do in Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia obviously is in the middle of a desert. I think before that, prior, they were getting like one rain every 5 years, so that's why they
Well,
started
yeah,
doing.
it's been a desert for thousands of years,
Yeah,
man.
well, I mean, but that's what they were getting, and that's why they had harp start doing that.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
didn't.
harp. That's basically like how harp, became mainstream, and then everything else they were doing started popping up, through those and all that stuff. But yeah,
Well,
I mean, it was.
isn't harp like radio waves though?
Yes, that's one aspect of it. That's that big compound they used to have with like 50 satellites that's sitting on it.
And it's up in Canada,
Uh,
Alaska.
something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I
right.
think,
Okay.
but that was
So,
their. That's what they were originally. That's what like they told everyone they were doing, and then Saudi Arabia came out and was like, "We need help with rain," and they were like, "Hey, we have an idea." So that's basically how harp became harp, and then everyone expands it. Trust me, I understand harp. Doesn't make personally. I don't think anybody's making fucking hurricanes. To me, that seems kind of a little too much because I actually had this conversation in my last stream. Um, I don't believe it's possible because rain making isolated rain is one thing. You can make rain in your house. You can go on YouTube and it shows you how to do that. But to make a hurricane, tornadoes, things like that, it's not a local system. It's something. I mean, you have to control. I mean, the whole United States weather pattern to make tornadoes for one. You know what I mean? So that I don't believe is possible. What they were saying, in there in the stream earlier, is a little far fetched to me. But at the same time, I'm not going to just say it's full of shit because I don't know 100%. But I do know to make a hurricane, tornadoes. I mean, it takes a weather pattern from, I mean, bigger than the United States to make that happen. So I think that's a little bit too much. As far as chemtrails are concerned, um, I mean, I know they do it. It took me a long time to figure it out, but the easiest way for you to understand it does happen is when you see a jetliner flying across the sky and it has the contrail. Time it. Get a stopwatch, time it, and see how long it takes to dissipate. Now, what
well, that would
the
depend on
chemtrail
what.
people.
That would depend on like wind and weather, and I mean, there's
Yeah,
a lot of variables there.
oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if it's a clear sunny day and you see a jet airliner do it, and then the same day you see what makes zero sense because this is what got me. How do you see these same streams in checkered patterns?
Well, you understand how at least they say that the airliners make the clouds, right?
Say again?
Jets. You understand
Okay,
how they.
yeah,
Okay.
condensation and
And,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you believe it. You believe that happens.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know what a contrail is.
You just think that there's times where does the pilot release the
Eh,
chemical or
hang on one second. Hang on, because is that are we all on the panel scratchy or is it just his mic?
It's
Right.
just his. It's distorted as fuck. I can barely understand him.
You may
yeah,
need
usually
to.
yeah, it happens. Let me run out and come back in.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Charm misheard you. I think she thought you were calling her a troll earlier
Oh
when
no,
you said
absolutely.
you say that to all females.
Damn it! Man. I'm gonna I'm gonna be really mean
Yeah,
here. I was joking around.
I just want to let you know she ended up leaving, but yeah, I
Well,
think she misheard you. We all told her that you
someone
said
in
females, but
someone in the chat area, find her and tell her to get back in here. You want to go ahead and test it?
Okay, yeah,
I
am I
just don't
good?
want there to be any
Yeah, sounds good.
issues.
Sounds good. Um,
So okay, so you believe in the chemtrail? I mean, you understand or not chemtrails, but the clouds are
Contract.
made. So does the pilot like release the chemicals to make the chemtrails, or how does that work?
Yes, for the chemtrails, yes.
So the
There,
pilots are in on it.
yeah. I mean, there are pilots that admit to doing it. It's just almost the same thing as the pilots that they spray farms for bugs and pests and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same concept, just on a bigger scale.
So
Uh, there's a
why are they doing what does it do?
um, personally, I don't know. As in a 100% fact. Let me show you exactly what it does. I've heard everything from uh, mind control to making people sick, making people aggressive. There's actually on YouTube, one of the videos I saw. There's a lady that used to work for the Navy that used to coordinate these planes, and she actually quit because she couldn't handle her conscience couldn't handle doing it anymore. Um,
Now
and
the
then
people that are the people that are
but
doing this, they're not worried about it affecting them.
no, they're in the planes, and apparently they're probably not, running back into those neighborhoods.
Well, no, because it's done in the air, and I mean, you throw something up in the air, it's going to go for miles and miles. I
Oh
mean, take
yeah.
a dadding line and you can throw it up in the air and go over the Rocky Mountain.
Okay. Well, I'm sure those pilots aren't going in sunbathing either, because that's like saying the guys that
No, I'm just
spray.
saying it's going to affect a lot of. It's going to affect just even probably like the government people, the police. I'm not sure who it's supposed to be affecting, but it's going to affect everybody.
The channel, the guy rant, I think his name is.
No,
He actually had uh, pictures on his site. I think they had a meetup in, I believe it was Oregon or Seattle or something like that. And they got pictures of all of them having like chemical burns on their bodies, and it's not like a sunburn because I've seen the pictures. It's not a sunburn. If you only sit one way, it kind of does only half. I mean, it was spreckled all over their arms, all over their faces. Some of their lips were all swollen up to all shit. So I mean, there are
well,
things behind it.
just because you show me a picture,
But
you can tell me a story. But don't.
okay, well I
Isn't that
can't.
something you
Well,
feel like? What? No, I'm just saying. Just as somebody who would. I mean, this is kind of a big thing, right? Wouldn't you want to like really like
okay.
be there to have facts like that?
Well, of course,
It's
but
just
I
taking
wasn't there.
somebody's word on
I
something.
I wasn't there for HARP to spray and make clouds and it rained, but I know it happened. I wasn't there when they sprayed down sprayed the lettuce and the corn and all that shit we ate the other night. You know what I mean? But I know it happens. But because what's happening is you're
Well, it
making it
doesn't get
like,
sprayed like it used
yeah.
to. Actually, it's all genetics
Oh
inside
no.
the food. So
Hey,
That's not
I live
true.
in
That
San
is not
Diego.
true. There are
yeah,
children born
Hold
like
on,
my son every
my
day because of
family
his
are
genetically
farmers.
altered shit.
hang on, Tiffany.
I don't care.
I need you to
Yeah,
understand.
genetically altered. That's what that
Hang on,
means.
hang
But they
on.
don't have to spray because it's already.
Hey, God damn it, let me talk. I live in San Diego, California, which is basically one of the top places for farming. I'm telling you for 100% fact with my own eyes because I go to the desert and that's where our farms are. They 100% still spray our vegetables with pesticides so bugs don't eat them. GMOs do not stop that from happening.
You're right. No, some of them don't.
Okay, so I'm sorry I had to meet you, but I had
Our
to get.
our
But
corn does, but yeah, you're right. There's some that don't have that in them.
yeah, but so to say that chemtrails are impossible because I haven't seen them or I haven't been in the plane while they were doing it is as far fetched as saying that they don't spray our food or that HARP doesn't make rain clouds.
Okay, well you've seen. Well, hold on, no, because you've actually seen the plane spray the food, and I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying to jump to the faith of yeah, it's actually happening and it's true. That's where I mean, how did you get to that part?
Okay, well, first of all, trust me, it wasn't like I've always been like chemtrails and for no reason. I used to be exactly like you're thinking right now. Hey, they're coming off the damn planes. But what happens is you see enough evidence, like I said, when you see these very narrow clouds that look like contrails but last for half a day, and then ones that are checkered. I mean, airliners don't make checkered pattern ones, and the smaller planes like the Cessnas and all those, they don't make the contrails, not at the lower elevations. So
well, somebody would just say the checkered is just from planes going, different directions, and
okay,
I don't even know if the other one's
I
important, but
wish
you might just say
Marlena, because Marlena is a pilot. But I can also tell you that, especially over cities, planes don't get to just fly willy-nilly. They have patterns they have to fly. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking those dudes that like fly over with the smoke and all that. Completely different, because that stuff dissipates too. I mean, there's
so
like
you see these clouds that stay around for a long time, and you go straight to it's the government conspiracy spraying us. Don't know why they're spraying us. Don't know who they're spraying, but they're doing it.
they're spraying the people. Why they're doing it? Well, in one instance, I can tell you that it's a chemical that burns skin. Why? I have no clue. They don't tell me the reasons they do those things. But just like you were just saying, how you believe that they didn't spray food, or you didn't believe that Harp was doing the rain dance. It's you're making it seem like just because you don't believe it or it doesn't make sense that it's just impossible.
No, if you can't see it, if you don't have facts, then it's hard for me to believe. You don't really have any. You don't have actual fact. I've seen $1 million. I know $1 million exists.
I don't have pure here you go facts to show you that what plants they do spray down, but you were willing to take my word for it then.
Well, no, because I've lived on farms. I used to, when I was a kid, they did it more because they didn't have the GMO foods. Now in our area, most of our foods have the GMO already in it. I understand.
But the GMO has nothing to do with pests. Nothing.
Some of it does. No, of course, some of it does. Some of it, the corn actually has shit inside of it, so the mealworms won't get into it.
Okay, but what about the little mites, the rabbits and
right?
squirrels?
Yeah. Well, no, rabbits are. Geez, man, that's
totally
different.
What? No, it's not totally different. That's why.
No, that's insect. No, insects versus a mammal. The gun will take care of the rabbit. The traps will take care of the rabbit. Rabbits don't fuck with corn, anyways.
Well, I don't know what they eat like that, but I can tell you for a fact that they do spray those, and it keeps all those farms out of it.
But that's something we both know. I've seen it. I've actually seen them do that, so I understand that. You saying that these people got burned from chemtrails? No, I've never seen that, and I've seen these chemtrails that you talk about. I've never met anybody that got burned from them. And how do they know they got burned from that? Chemtrails are so high in the air.
Because if you see these patterns of these, not clouds, because clouds don't form checkered marks. It doesn't happen. Even a jet stream wouldn't make that happen. I'm going to try to find the pictures right now. What do you know? Right off the bat. Let me see. Find the name. Oh, Ranty, he's cool. He's not going to trip on me doing this.
Sean, are you watching the chat?
Absolutely not, actually.
This is why I said no Bill Hicks Jr. He's already started. Apparently they made a video about me.
Oh, well, you know what? Just ignore it, because otherwise they're going to...
I just want to let you know this is why I said something at the beginning.
All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to screen share so you can see for yourself what I was talking about with the Ken Burns. But I want to do this without fucking sharing that. God damn it. I'll figure it out one day. Ranty Rant, I know you're my friend, so you won't have a problem with doing this. Of course, no sound. What the hell? It even says with sound. That's amazing. Okay, well, there's no sound, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it because I can see what he's going to do. So see that? You see the strip?
Yeah.
That's obviously not high enough to be a jetliner, right?
I don't know what you mean obvious. I have
okay.
no idea.
Does that look like 30,000 feet to you?
I have no point of reference. Where's it taken off from? I mean, there's a lot of questions. I have no clue.
Okay, well, I could tell you, I used to live under or right under the flight path of the San Diego airport, and planes don't take off in a straight line.
Sean, I'm inviting Marlena.
Thank you. Okay, so you see clouds, so you see the strips, right? You're telling me that a jet stream makes a strip like that?
I really don't see any. Okay, there. Yeah, I see that
right
strip.
There.
Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, that I would think that's a little long for a jetliner. There's no air base around or anything. Where's this at? Do you know where it's at?
It is. Actually, I don't think he lives in the United States. I'm pretty sure he's overseas.
Right. Okay, but even if I agree with you that that's weird, I mean, to jump.
Okay. So to believe it, what would it take? Because I'm not saying you have to believe it because of what you're looking at right now, but you need to at least say, okay, that's obviously not,
that's
a
weird.
jet line at 30,000 feet. That's obviously not a jet stream, right? So that happens. Now, hang on, because the reason we're watching this is the burns. It's not just to show you some clouds. So they see this, right? They're at a meetup, and then when you see that what happens, you tell me if it's sunburns or something else. Because I could tell you right now, I talked to the guy about this, and he didn't seem like he was trying to blow shit up my ass.
Well, could you show the trees and play it for just a second? Or are you playing it?
It's playing. It says with sound, but I don't have any clue why it's not. The sound isn't playing.
That's okay. I don't need the sound. I'm trying to see if I can. The trees are blowing, and they're not blowing anywhere.
Nope.
Right, so that whatever it was would just fall straight down.
It would dissipate, obviously, because it's not going to just fall straight hard down. So you can see it kind of spreading apart a little bit. But those are obviously not a jet stream situation because they showed the clouds everywhere else that are just everywhere. See, like the patches, and those are obviously different. So when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at what I believe to be man-made.
Okay. I'm not a cloud guy, so I can't answer. I'm not that good at this.
Yeah, but like you were saying, the trees aren't blowing all everywhere. You can obviously see that the clouds are scattered everywhere, but you had these strips that are running through.
Well, the cloud thing will scatter. I mean, that's not surprising. I've seen that before. That's because the wind is nuts up there. It's usually
But you see strips like that in the mix of those clouds doesn't seem kind of
weird. No, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know.
So what you've just done is the basis of a conspiracy and the reasoning behind it. So it's obviously not far-fetched.
Well, no, right, but I would go to the next step and actually try to find a pilot, somebody who's not has any involvement in this at all, and just try to talk to him about it.
I guess what?
Guess what? I know. I know you're going to tell me you have a pilot that tells you that they're chemtrails. And I'm just going to sit here and tell you, well, I've seen many interviews where the pilots are like, no, this is why it is. It's the jumping to belief is where I just, I was just curious on how somebody does that.
Okay, I understand. But jumping to belief would mean I told you and you automatically believe me based on only what I said. But after seeing that video, you have to say that there has to be something to chemtrails and what people are saying. Now, because I didn't finish that video, you need to understand that there are pictures, and you can go on, like I Googled it, and that was the first thing that popped up. The people that shot that video had chemical burns. Now, it wasn't everybody that was out in the air, that whole city. It was in a group that was under those same lines that you saw. Now, I'll let someone who knows a lot more about chemtrails explain it.
Well, as a skeptic, let me just kind of throw this out real quick. As somebody from the outside, if you sat there and told me the person who took the video, who's telling us these are chemtrails, then shows us video of an arm burn or something, it's a little suspect because he wants you to believe. I'm not
It
saying
was,
he's lying. I
it was
don't know the
actually
guy at all.
it was actually 3 or 4 people, and they showed all the burns. It
Right.
wasn't like a sunburn.
But
It looked like, you know what a chemical burn looks like, right?
yeah, but do you
Oh,
understand how somebody like me would like to just, we got to be a little more skeptic in life, would say,
yeah,
well, maybe these people just kind of want us to believe something.
absolutely. But see, that would work if it was like the guy had all these burns and he came out with, these are chemical burns, and you were like, well, do you have any proof behind it? And he was like, no. But at least a basis, or a start of why it happened. And you count all the other people that have seen it being done, and had these situations happen to them, then you got to kind of look at it as something that's a viable situation.
Yeah, I'm not down this rabbit hole like you are. I'm sure you've seen
Okay,
a lot of
well then,
people say this stuff, so you might be a little, rabbit holes aren't always good.
there's more evidence
Yo, hang on a
that I
sec. I
found.
just introduced myself. I'm
Yeah.
Marlena. I am a
Hi,
pilot.
Marlena.
Hi,
Be
I
my
am a
pilot.
pilot, and it's true. They actually are spraying, and it's really upsetting to me because seeing this shit in my sky when I'm flying up there, you could totally see it glistening just like glitter. And they're also spraying glucose phosphate, and they use that for Roundup when they do your weeds, right? Um, they're doing it here. And when I call the airport, I know them personally because my hangar's there. They tell me there's nothing there. They said there's no traffic right now in the sky. I'll look up and see over 5, 6 planes in my sky when they tell me there's none. And I was like you. I totally didn't believe any of this shit until it started happening in my area. And then when I started seeing the crisscross, and I know the difference between my contrails and chemtrails. I know the difference. You
So
know,
you're not a commercial pilot. You're a private pilot.
yes, I
Oh, you're a
am.
commercial pilot. Have they?
Yes, I am.
Okay, he was saying, because I was asking, I don't know how much of the conversation you heard, but when these are made, that the pilot releases the chemicals to create it. Is that
That's definitely
okay?
true.
So did they?
That's definitely true.
So they asked you to do this?
No. Are you
Oh, they
kidding?
never
No
asked.
way.
Well,
Never do
did they
something
ask?
like that. But the guy, his name is Jim. I can actually get him in here. They have asked him. And because he said no, and this ain't like Air Canada or any of these kind of big airlines. These are privately owned companies that people work for. They do fly for like dignitaries or whoever. They fly them around, right? Which sometimes I'll do a private flight for people, but I never release anything besides the contrails are just water vapor, right? But these aren't water vapor. Water vapor goes away. It stays for a
Oh,
little
so they
bit,
do it
goes
in
away.
private planes
Feeling well. I
also.
just came home from a trip and I wasn't feeling well, so I'm like decompressing right now. Um, I also have a couple other pilots that can't even talk about it in fear of they're going to get fired. You know,
And
and it's
you
sad.
know,
And I don't know how you can't look up and see this for yourself.
well, I do. I
I'm
look up and
disgusted.
I look up and
Disgusted.
see them, but it's
I'm disgusted by what I see in the sky. Where I've
Hang on.
never seen a blue sky for the longest time, and I don't live
oh,
near an air
geez.
base.
All right, hang
I
on, hang
really
on.
don't. I
One
don't live.
sec. So,
Sorry,
I
I
showed him
lose my cool quick.
I showed him
Sorry.
Ranny's video of when he got the chemical burns. Um, and say that it is kind of, suspicious. It's weird that the trails look like that compared to the clouds with no wind and all that. So
Right.
he does see something. He's just not willing to grasp anything
Well,
else.
no. What? I mean, who would? Right? Who wants to
Well,
believe this shit?
I would like to know what's the purpose. I mean, that's usually the big way you convince somebody, is
Okay,
because
I'm going
they're
to tell you
doing
the
it for this
reasons.
reason.
Right. I'll tell you the reasons what was told to me. Okay. One was because we have our greenhouse effects going on, and they're trying to block the sun from being so strong. Okay, that was one of the reasons I heard. Another reason I heard was because of the insects. Right. This is not the same stuff as when, like, say, my friend over here when he does spraying for people's crops. That's not the same thing because that stuff stays. It's not, But those are the only excuses I've heard. Are those two. You know, check this out. So the other, like last week, I have a video of this, by the way. I have all this kind of video because I have to document it in order for people in my area to realize what's going on too. Because when they're telling you at the airport that there's no activity above you and you see these things, you see these clearly spraying, right? Um, I'm so sorry. I haven't felt good since I came home. Maybe it's because of those. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so they put out this paper saying that they're going to spray in our air. Check this out. They said they're gonna spray that stuff to that glucose phosphate, right? And they said the reason why they were spraying it was to promote more growth. How this happens, I will never know. For our softwoods and to hinder the process of our hardwoods, right? Now, this is what gets me. They want to spray this over here. What about all my animals and the animals, you know, like, because I have a lot of animals. What about the animals that live in the woods, like the deer and the moose and all the little critters, right? Like, if this is there to kill certain, yeah, it does kill, right? Because it's the same stuff that's in Roundup, like I said. To hinder a process of one tree, how could they say it's going to promote a growth of another tree? You know what I mean? So this is what happened. I made a big deal out of it here. I made a do not consent video and it went nuts here in my community. So then the powers that be, the parties that are you know, running or whatever, says, oh, we put a stop to it. She even put a letter saying she put a stop to it. And then of course at the end of her letter it says, don't forget to, you know, follow us, kind of deal, you know, this political party that she belongs to. The very next day, the sky is even worse. It was so crisscrossed, and I mean, it was ridiculous. And it just, you know, as a pilot, I am like shocked when I can't eat. I have to, some days I can't even go fly because it's so covered that I have no visual whatsoever, even though I have my IFR. You know what I mean? I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm pissed. And it's not because of you or Sean. I'm pissed because this is going on and they're telling us. They're not even hiding it. Then they said, you know what? They're going to do it up in the stratosphere, which is even more ridiculous. You know, it's like they're admitting it and then they deny it. You know, they admit it, then they deny it. So it's like, well, what do we believe? What you first told us or the second part you told us? You know what I mean? And I understand it. I was very cynical. I was like, no, this ain't happening. I'm up there. I know the difference. But like I said, when it started coming in my area, it's noticeable, and it's noticeable big time. It starts off early in the morning and ends at night, and you can see the glitter. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, there's 11 new clouds. We didn't have these 11 new clouds before. You know, I've been flying since I was 15 years old, 16 years old. You know, there was never these new clouds. Now there's these new clouds. I think 2 years ago now, they discovered, and I say that very, very, you know, whatever, discovered my ass. It's those clouds, you know, the ones with the little rainbows around them and stuff. It's because you putting out aluminum particles. And I don't know why. I don't know what that would be, why that would be, but you could see it when you're up in the sky and you fly by one of those things. You could see it. It glitters just like, you know, the glitter that girls wear. That's what it reminds me of. That's how disgusting. And I'm sorry I came on here and took over some shit, Sean. It's just that, you know how much this affects me. You know, knowing that they can do something like this and we don't have a say in it as a people. You know, it really disturbs me. This is to me a hostage situation on every level. It's because we have no choice. We have no choice. You know, we're supposed to be able to say what happens, right? But we don't.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't. And hopefully this video, because I'm glad he's asking the questions he's asking. I missed the beginning, so I don't know. I just know what I heard when I jumped on.
Oh, absolutely. He's I'm happy you came on because I can only explain it to what I know, but I know you know a lot more about him, so I'm happy you came on. And he's super cool. He's not being a dick.
Yeah.
He's not being sarcastic.
Well, he doesn't. His picture's freaking me out a little.
I generally think he wants to
Sorry,
understand these things. So it's thank you for coming on and letting us know, because
You're welcome.
you explained it a
It's
lot better
just
than I.
sad. You see people and they get so sick and headaches and the headaches. You know, we were it wasn't too long ago. I think it was Brother Sanchez, was it? Was talking about how bad, or was it Dread? One of them was saying how bad their headaches were.
I
Got
know
rid of their
Dredd was saying that.
headaches. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe it was Dread. But how bad their
yeah.
headaches were, they couldn't figure it out. And then once they stayed in the house, their headaches went away. When they got a, you know, when they stayed out of the, you know, there's a thing called rolling clouds. Okay, they almost look like this, but rolling clouds are like, this is what they were trying to say these were for a while. There's, oh no, those are rolling clouds. Those aren't rolling clouds. Rolling clouds are like a tube shape. I just want to make sure before anybody says this. But they form by just like they sound like a rolling, right? They don't come from an airplane or a jet. They're made because of the atmosphere, you know what I mean? So I just want to let you guys, yeah, see, those are rolling clouds. They are trying to say that's what those are. That is not what it is.
Yeah, that seems a little thick to
We,
be what we're discussing.
yep. But I just want to say this because I know before when I discussed it to somebody, goes, oh shit, those are rolling clouds. I'm like, nah. Rolling clouds are developed a different way. I've seen rolling clouds myself when I was down south, you know.
Yeah, I don't know
Hey,
enough
there's me.
about
Hi.
meteorology to understand this shit.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but what she was saying, does it kind of give you a better understanding of why people are thinking that chemtrails are?
Well, I understand, because I mean that's the best thing about a conspiracy theories. There's little bits of proof here and there to keep you going, and I understand why people get into them. It's just I'm just one
Wait a
of those
minute. Can I
people that
explain?
I'm
I
just one of those people
understand.
that
But you know
really
what?
needs evidence.
Well, the best part about it
The
is
first,
that no
oh
one
my
can do
God,
it,
there's so much
especially
evidence.
it's without it being because it's a conspiracy theory to begin with, and what happens is instead of it being something that's just going to be like 1+1 is 2, it's not going to be just a pure fact. That what's happening is especially right now, and what's happened for me especially because I'm new to I'm new to flat earth and everything. What needs to happen is people need to get the information and then go out now that you know a little bit more about the situation, it gives you more grounds to what you need to research to get a better understanding for yourself. I don't think I can make you believe any conspiracy theory. I can only give you the tools to look into it more.
Oh no, there's some conspiracy
It
theories
is
you can,
worth looking into.
like the
It
Gulf
is.
of.
And you know what? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's
I'm
okay.
just very passionate when it comes to this.
That's
You know what
okay.
I mean? But you know what? When you do, if you do, and I swear I hope you do, when you start realizing or you do see it and it does hit you like it hit me, make it a fucking aware to everybody because I mean everybody they look up, they see it, and they think it's okay. I've been flying all these years. This was never like this.
So do you
It's
think
only been
it's
the last few
something that?
years.
So do you think it's something that could be stopped?
No.
Okay, so why would I look into it and convince myself of something I can't stop?
Only because who are we? Who
For it.
are we? Who are we?
I know, I was just making a joke.
But you know what? I'm so passionate I almost started crying. Um Stop this here in my area. And you know what? Want to hear something really fucking weird? Where they're coming from, that's the Atlantic Ocean. Where the fuck are they coming from? There's nothing over there for them to fly out of. Like, where are they coming from? You know what I mean? They're coming straight from that way, from the Atlantic Ocean. But where are they coming from? Coming from my airport. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the fuck these things are coming from. Pardon my language, but I don't know where the fuck they are coming from. Because they're like way over. And they're pretty damn high. And the Atlantic Ocean's pretty big. I don't know where they're coming from. So, do you believe in aliens? Because I see your little face there.
Are aliens real? Of I have to say, of course, because that's just too much space for nothing. As aliens came to Earth, yeah, that's gonna be a hard one to convince me.
I see on that realm. I don't think when you think of aliens, I don't or UFOs. I don't believe it's little green men, spaceships. I think it could be something as small as a bacteria that's from outer space.
Maybe they're
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
making
that's
chemtrails
if it's
so that
not,
maybe they're making a mask so no one sees us. You never
yeah,
know. Could be
because for all we
anything.
know,
Could be anything.
for all we know, the government they make aliens into these big, things you're supposed to see in the sky. When we all know for a fact, I mean, it's not even really conspiracy theory. If you live in Nevada, you see lights in the sky all the time that you can't explain. But we also know that they test new stuff in Area 51.
yeah.
Uh, when I was a lot younger, about 20 years ago, my dad's best friend used to be in the Navy down at 32nd Street.
What?
That's our Navy area in San Diego, and he was telling me about stealth boats at the time, and this is 20 plus years ago. And lo and behold, they have stealth boats. So just because they haven't said it yet or we haven't seen it doesn't mean they're not doing shit. That's under wraps.
Oh yeah, that's how the
I
government
don't. You
works.
know what? I have a hard time believing that we're the only ones. First of all, I really do.
I just find it hard to believe
Regardless,
that aliens have come from space and there's not. I mean, keep it real. It's 2017. Everybody's got a smartphone, which means everybody's got an HD capability. And you're telling me there's no HD photos, HD videos? It's like fucking Bigfoot. I mean, come on.
well,
Right.
no, that's not true. There
Matter
are
of fact,
HD
matter of fact,
pictures and shit.
matter of
What are you
fact,
talking about?
But
There
Bigfoot,
nothing,
is.
nothing
Bigfoot,
like
Bigfoot is
shit.
Bigfoot
Not
is
a Bigfoot.
more.
I'm talking about of
No,
stuff
no,
in the sky.
no, no, no. No, listen. Bigfoot is
You
more
shit.
realistic. Bigfoot is more realistic than UFOs.
Well, there used to be
Why do you
creatures
not
like
believe in Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. There used to be
Gi-
creatures that
No,
lived.
in my culture, is part of our medicine wheel. And so are
uh,
star people. They're part of our
Gi-
medicine
Giant
wheel. Oh,
Pithecus.
by the way, Cynic, I'm a native woman, Micmac. I'm Micmac from the East Coast, and I totally have, was born and raised in my culture. So I know all the stories and and the proofs of stuff that we talk about and we learn about and we teach about. You know what I
That's
mean?
awesome.
But
Do you
see,
have a
I don't.
YouTube channel that you
So
talk about it?
no, but I do have a YouTube channel, but right now it ended up being all about chemtrails, and it wasn't supposed to be. It
I'll start
just
another
happened like that.
start another one up and talk about
I'm going to.
your heritage and everything.
No,
Yeah, I'm
you're
always
right.
interested in that stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I know because there are like I said, Bigfoot is part of our medicine wheel,
And there was a creature that was
but we don't call him
basically
Bigfoot, of
Bigfoot.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there used to be over in Asia. They found bones of a creature that resembles
yeah.
what people talk about Bigfoot.
Ginos or
Yeti? Is it Yeti?
Gynopithecus, something like that.
I don't know if it was called the Yeti, but I'm sure the stories of the Yeti probably came from that.
It was Gynopithecus or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And they're like, if they're around, we can't see them. Well, you know what? I would be hiding my ass off if these fucking crazy people were always trying to kill me. But you know what I mean? Because the way that he's described in our culture is he's very smart, or he, she, that family of people, because they are different types of people. What would you do, Sean, if someone was trying to constantly kill you?
Oh well, that's I was
Because that's
actually
what they try to do. They try to
watching a
kill.
documentary, and they even showed they basically flew a plane over like the Midwest, like where all the forests and shit are, and they basically said like you could fly a plane and you can fly for 4 hours straight and not see one person, not one car, not even a road. And to think that nothing could be in that forest that we haven't seen yet is ridiculous, especially because
Definitely.
we're constantly finding new species every day.
Yep.
um
Definitely.
Cynic, I didn't want you've been quiet. I don't want to think that we're cutting you off or not letting you say anything or nothing like that. So if you want to ask a question, or
Oh, sorry.
you want to ask a question or have say something, you go right ahead, man. You've been super cool, so I have no reason to be aggressive with you or anything like that. I want to make sure you're good to go still.
So I've built the bridge. That's great. I understand you. I understand people like you just expecting somebody to come on here and be an ass. I get that, and usually I am an ass.
Oh,
But
no. See,
You seem pretty cool to me.
even acting like where we sound crazy is fine, because a lot of shit sounds crazy. I hear all the time. Trust me, I completely like I weigh and I go back and forth and I try to figure a lot of stuff out. So I get that end of it, but there are people that come in here just to make a mockery of other
Yeah,
people.
there are some assholes. Yeah.
Even in the chat room, you weren't doing that earlier. So I mean, I appreciate it that you're not being an asshole.
well, I'm
There's
saying
nothing wrong with being crazy anyway. Normal's only on a washing machine,
I find
So-
I find humans in general very interesting. So when somebody believes in a conspiracy that nobody else believes, but they are solid, firm that this is real, I'm just fascinated by that.
What do you mean
But
nobody
see,
else believes? There's
yeah,
millions of
chemtrails. There's a
people that
lot of
talk
people.
about this chemtrails. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I know I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that because in general, you understand that most people don't believe in chemtrails or Bigfoot or flat Earth or
Most? No,
whatever.
well, not the
Okay.
community I live in.
Well,
I was born and raised a flat earther, and everybody here is too. So,
Oh, so do you know about flat
that's
Earth?
just the way it is. Yes, I do.
Because that's
why
kind of
we
why
call it. That's why we call it Mother Earth. Mother Earth, of course, but we call it Turtle Island. That's why we call it that. Our people.
and for the record, I did tell you I was a noob and I wasn't really going to be able to touch on flat Earth
Yeah, he
before we
really
got
can't. He just
So,
realized things recently, Sean.
yeah.
So,
So you can't
but
blame
I'm
me
not
for
in
not
here to
talking
debate
flat
something that I. Listen,
Okay,
just put
well-
it this way. When I was 15 or 16, I found out that scientists were trying to tell people that they're on a spinning ball, hurtling through space, and then going around this big sun, and at the same time the moon's going around it, but we're all still flying together and nothing's being hit. The stars remain the same. Then I became a pilot, and it solidified that this is a flat Earth. But it's just so ridiculous to me. Just try to think of it in my shoes. Growing up knowing the Earth is flat, so simple, and no one ever changed it. And then when you hear about the Earth, and then the shape changed 3 times in my life, the way that people were saying, first it was round, then it was Blake or whatever the hell that was, and then now it's pear. So it's like they don't have any definite pictures. There's nothing. I mean, I know
those
you
are
hear
all
that all the
still round.
time.
Those are still all round shaped, though. It's just
Yeah,
it's,
but the
it's not like
picture
a
they had
perfect
from
ball.
the moon of the Earth's rise, please.
Okay, so let's look at it through. Let's look at
copy and paste. But I'm not in here to talk about the flat Earth.
Oh, geez,
gonna-
that's the whole point. I'm here.
No, it's not. I told
Oh, I
you.
thought you were here for
the
chemtrails.
No, you didn't, man. No, you
Oh,
didn't.
I promise you, I did, my friend. And the best part about it is Logic puts his chat in the stream. So if I need to go back to the stream, I will 100% do it.
What happened? How'd you guys meet? Did you guys meet on Logic's channel?
100%. I said, hey, I'm still a noob in the flat Earth realm, but I can touch on all these little conspiracy theories you don't think. And then you said, well, I don't believe flat Earth, I don't believe chemtrails, and I don't believe that HARP thing. And I said, well, I can touch on 2 of the 3 of those.
Oh,
wow!
I didn't think
well,
flat.
I don't want to sit here and fight about something that I've been brought. I can't argue about something that I've known all my life. Like same with you. You've been on this Earth spinning around for 1,000 miles an hour, holding on to I don't know how something called gravity that is kind of ridiculous. When the clouds stay in the sky, I don't.
Okay, but there are things that are science that are so you can make a number work by making the number around it work too, and that's where I'm at on that. So just so you understand, there are things I can touch on because I am also a land surveyor. So if you have,
so yeah, there we go. You're a land surveyor, so you understand that there's a formula for when you're building a road that you use for the curvature of the Earth.
No. So what happens is when
I went to school for this. Don't tell me
okay.
no.
I'm going to tell you 100% no because I can tell you exactly how it works. The only thing you measure for is drainage. It's 0.05 to 1.5% depending on where you are. Now, if you're going to tell me that's wrong, you show me where.
What kind of surveyor are you?
I'm a land surveyor, plane surveyor.
And what's the
Now, if you want to talk,
distance?
if you want to talk geodetic, you need 2,500 miles to be able to measure to find a curve, supposedly.
Yes. What do you mean supposed? The Earth is very, very large, so it's a gradual curve. That's why we have
Okay, I
a
understand.
formula that has a calculation for that curve. Because if you don't, our interstates
Yeah,
would be
eight
all
inch
fucked
for
up.
every eight
Okay.
square
Here's the
mile.
hang on, Marlena. Here's the problem with what you're saying. Because what you're saying doesn't make sense. Because if it was on the way it curves, that means by the time you got to the equator, you wouldn't have to account for drainage. Matter of fact,
What?
you wouldn't have to account for drainage anyway. If you're
That
telling
doesn't
me to
talk
build roads,
about what I'm talking about at all.
I'll just slow down a little bit. Say you said that you have to account for the curvature of the Earth to build a road.
Right.
Okay, so can you pop some roads up real quick on Google Share? Because what you're saying is completely wrong. Because when we grade out a road with machines, we fill low spots and we cut high spots. Now, if it was over the curvature of the Earth, then it wouldn't be that same situation. We wouldn't have to measure. We just know that from here to there it needs to be lower. That's it. It wouldn't have to drain. Is there a hump?
You're talking about a very small area, though.
Okay, so what highway do you know that's built over, we'll say 500 miles at a time?
500 miles at a time?
Not.
The stuff's already built right now. It's just every state does their own part.
Well, let me show you something. You know the road. What area do you live in?
I'm in Colorado.
Okay. Have you been to Vegas? Been on the 15 freeway, basically.
Is that the one to California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It runs from. Okay. So I did personally 600 feet out of Vegas up the hill, and I can tell you right now, at any situation, you only do it in 35 to 65-foot increments. Now, from what you just said, where those are small sections of road, that's exactly how it's done. You don't do a piece of road 100 miles. You don't do it miles at a time.
The person you have a main guy who's designing it.
Yes.
And that stretch is going to be calculated. They work together. I mean, you might have multiple people that are taking sections, but they all got to talk to each other so they line up. This guy knows that it has to be at this certain area on the map using a satellite.
Okay.
Why am I blanking on that word?
Okay. Here's the problem with what you're saying. Me and my father, we built 4 military towns on Camp Pendleton. We designed, laid out, and built 75 of their access roads. So what you're saying is not true. It doesn't have to be one guy and one other guy, and it has to match.
I don't believe I can show you. No, dude, no. I
can show you. I can 100% show you. I can show you the topo maps we started with. Go ahead.
Right, you're talking about small areas that's already been mapped out for you. Somebody already did that for you, and they mapped it out to the next. When they built the interstate, when they built the entire interstate.
Do you want to see the topo maps that we surveyed ourselves? Because I have them. I do. From survey topos to blueprint to final product. So don't tell me how I do my job and how that works. Because what you just said, you keep contradicting yourself. Listen, hang on. Let me finish. You keep contradicting yourself. For one, they do not lay out long stretches of highway. Any highway you've ever been on was not built the whole drive you did at one time. It's built in increments. And now what happens is it's just like all the neighborhood houses you live in. Each pad is designed and built how it is. It is not designed on a curvature of Earth. And I know this because each time you do it, you grade it to a percentage, corner to corner. So it drains, not how does the Earth curve.
Okay, so why is there a formula for the curvature of the Earth?
For people like you who need to believe there's a curvature of the Earth and it makes sense. Because I just explained to you exactly how a curvature makes 0 sense.
Come on, man. That's not.
Okay.
That's not. So you're saying
Go ahead.
Because NASA makes over 54 million a month, and they don't want to lose that money. By the
so
way, but that's
so
another story. If you
so
go to
you're
No, go ahead.
Saskatchewan, it's
Hang on, Marlene.
760 miles.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on,
so you're
Marlena.
saying
Okay. Go
so
ahead.
you're saying all these people got together and decided to keep this lie going for a couple hundred years at this point, and have everybody learn this formula that changes the
But
actual
everybody don't know
equation
it.
just so
Okay.
people think the Earth is round.
Okay. So let's go to the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. It has an arc, right? And it was supposedly has
Can
an
you
arc
answer that
based on.
part?
I'm answering it right now. So the Golden
Okay.
Gate Bridge has an arc based on supposedly the curvature of the Earth, correct?
Hmm.
I don't imagine it would,
Why wouldn't it? If
because it's such a
if a,
because it's so
It
short.
should though.
are
Earth is
you
huge.
So I
Have you-
want you to understand how you know what you're talking about, because the Golden Gate Bridge, and they even
It's not as
say
huge as
they
they
use
say.
surveyors to build that bridge. Now, let me explain to you how geodetic surveyors were not necessary, because the tension and the weight of the middle of that bridge is so extreme that it has to arc up. Otherwise, when said and done at level, it would arc down and touch the water based on all the weight. Now, if you don't believe me, you need to go back to whatever school you went to and really look at the numbers. Because
Wait, are you're saying the cable tension is so high to arc it?
just the mass, the pure weight of the bridge, period.
The Earth isn't that huge. They
Okay.
say that the Earth is 40,000 in circumference.
I'm gonna pull up the bridge right now.
No, that would make
Oh, you
sense.
guys are American,
for the
eh?
tension.
I got you.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
Yeah, but
American.
40,000 kilometers ain't that much.
But see, that's what I need you to
Yeah, I didn't
understand,
look,
because
man.
they tell everybody it's 0.8. Hey, so you understand, it's 0.8 of a mile.
I'm
So
sorry.
they tell everybody that the Golden Gate Bridge, they use a geodetic surveyor because of the distance between the two sides. Now, you saying it's not that big and all that stuff, it makes zero sense, because it's way over what they would say, or it'd be. First of all, it's not 0.8 people. It's it's not 8 inches per mile. It's 0.67 per mile. We can clear that up. So that would have to be accounted for in this length, because 0.6 per mile, the Golden Gate Bridge is, I believe, off the top of my head, I have no clue, but we can find out. Golden Gate Bridge is,
Okay, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Let's Google it.
okay. You said that to make highways, you need to account for curvature of the Earth, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're looking at a highway.
Sorry.
You're looking at something that everyone says that geodetic surveyors had to have done. And I have done the numbers for this Golden Gate Bridge. This is why I brought it up. The reason of it is this is 8,081 feet long, right? That's a mile and a quarter. A mile and a quarter times 0.67. Let's say, I think it's like what? A 6/10, I believe, off the top of my head, because I'm not doing the numbers right off. So that means they have to adjust for that. I can tell you now that the tension they have to use on these bridges to keep this part, see right here, from sagging. Trust me, these cables keep everything inside those cables up, not the fucking middle.
Right.
So to say that they're accounting for the curvature of the Earth is bullshit. They're accounting for this hump they have to have. Otherwise, if it was straight level, right? Straight level, instead of arcing up, it would arc down into the water.
So you're saying that they didn't need to use the formula for the curvature of the Earth?
No.
They had to use the formula for the curvature of the bridge that it needed to be able to be strong.
Right, but
There's a bridge here also. That's
They
very,
didn't.
very, like, they never.
No, I'm just
Let me show
asking.
you.
I'm just asking. So they
Oh,
didn't.
100%. No,
They didn't.
No, and I can show you why.
Okay, that's what I said, dude. I agree with you.
Hey, the
Oh, no, no.
Thecynix. Hey, the
Started off,
Thecynix.
I agreed with you.
No, but what
Excuse
happened was
me?
you said that to build the highways, you needed these people to
The
do
long,
it.
dude, yeah, you got. Come on, man. You understand? I'm talking about 80, 100 miles before any of this would even matter.
Okay, do you
Not
know
Okay.
not 10
you know
miles,
how
not 15
you know a
miles.
house pad is built?
What, a house pad?
Your house, you know, it's on a dirt pad originally. Like they build it,
Oh, for the
they grade out a
foundation.
dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not at zero. They're all at, like I said, 0.05 to 1% drainage. So that way, when it rains, that water doesn't sink under the house, and then you get a big sinkhole. Um, hang on, I'm typing at the same time. My apologies. So a freeway is built the exact same way. If you look at the freeway, you know those little lines in it. Those are
Yeah.
segment lines. All you have to do is make each one work. And if it doesn't work, you cut or you fill. Now, here's the biggest reason I'm not straight flat earth, because everyone believes that from anywhere you start to anywhere else, it's going to be either flat or round. Everybody, I want you to listen to this very carefully. There is only maybe 4 or 5 areas on this planet that are completely flat. Flats, and there's a few others that I don't remember the names right off the top of my fucking head. But everything else has humps, hills, dips, ditches, mountains, everything. So to believe that any curvature is needed to build a road, a house, or anything for that matter is bullshit.
What? No.
Just so everyone understands.
Yeah, you wouldn't need a curvature for a house. Once again,
Or
it's
okay,
a long distance. Okay, this is where we're having a problem, man, and you don't seem to be listening to my part of this. It's over an extremely long distance. You can't just start somewhere. You can't start in the middle of Iowa and just head north in a straight line and think you're going to wind up in North Carolina. You'll wind up in South Carolina. Because the
why do you
earth,
believe that?
because I went to school and they gave me this little math equation, and then we went and
Oh my
actually
God.
did it in real life.
Okay, hang on, Marlena. Now, I want you to explain this math equation so that it makes sense, because I just explained to you why your highway explanation makes 0 sense. First
No,
of all,
you
like
didn't. You did. That's the problem with conspiracy theories. You just say something,
But this
and you
is this even
you
this
well, hold
even
on,
theory.
hold on. What's that?
Can I
I
say
need to
something,
stop.
gentlemen? Let
Hang
me
on,
talk
because right now
for a
I'm
second.
getting
I just have to
frustrated.
say
Hang on.
something. You calm down, Sean.
I need to
Stop.
talking about my profession. You're talking about something a teacher taught you in school. Now, what have you done as a profession that you use this equation?
Oh my God! So you
Don't say,
telling
"Oh my
me?
God," because I'm about.
Well, kick me out,
Oh,
dude. I mean,
okay.
if you get so
Oh,
mad
absolutely.
about something
I'm
this
not mad.
simple,
It's not mad, my friend. I promise. This is
because
not mad.
well, I keep on saying you're doing a short distance, and you keep agreeing that you're doing a short distance, and then getting mad when I say, well, over a longer distance, and you're just saying no, it's
Well,
not
that's
true.
why I wanted to chime in, because Saskatchewan is 760 miles long, and it has a continuous road, and they never had to compensate for anything. Like there's no hills or nothing in Saskatchewan, and that's why I was trying to chime in. But 760 miles long of flat land, and I know that's not the flattest land on this earth, but for where I live, it is, right? So they never had to compensate for their road at all. They never had to do any kind
now,
of
I need you to
anything.
understand what you're saying. So, what you're telling me. So, let's just say, for instance, you see my picture that I'm sharing right now, right?
No, you're not. No.
Okay, let
Not
me
in there,
make
Sean.
sure. Okay. Now you see it.
Yep.
Okay. So let's just say, from the bottom of this picture, where the end of this road you can see, and the top up here, where obviously the other side of the road. Is that too short for curvature?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's too short
I mean,
for
I
curvature.
can't really tell how long that is. It's just a picture, but I would assume it's too short.
Okay, well, I can tell you that a car is an average of 30 feet. This one right here, or 25, we'll say. So I'm guessing that's probably about a 0.8 of a mile. We'll just say maybe, but that sure as hell ain't no 100 miles. So we know it's not that long. Okay, let's find one that's long, because what you're saying, you
Dude,
do know that.
you would have to have an overview of states to
Yeah,
before
I get
you
what
know what?
you start having a
kind
curve
of picture.
problem.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. I mean, man,
If
I
you
don't
look
know
at
why.
it to the sideways, Sean, instead of looking at it straight on like that, maybe if you could find one, yeah, almost like the one here. I point like you could see me, like
Airing out all my business on. Hang on. Uh,
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no.
live with people.
Oh, I have a kid. Trust me. I think I heard you had a kid. I know you said you had
This
kids.
ain't my
So
child, man. This ain't my child. I
it's a
just take
kid
care of him.
responsible
Oh.
for it. Therefore, we stand the screaming.
My childs are older. My childs. I just dropped my daughter off in university. She's in her second year of med school. She's going to be a neurosurgeon.
I know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
That's
wow.
hard ass.
Yeah,
right
I just
there.
dropped her off. That's why I'm so
Let's stop
sad.
this. We're gonna just go to Google Earth. Makes more sense, right?
Well, you probably just a regular map would just. I mean, just be talking about distance.
No, 'cause-
John's looking for that. What's the handprint on the head for? What does that mean?
It was just something cool I saw and I played with it. And I didn't really mean to become a YouTuber that did videos and stuff. I was just kind of fucking around and made this.
That's how it starts, right? You don't.
You're right.
Me too. I didn't mean to do anything. I like that picture.
Oh, I came.
It's kind of freaky though.
I came on YouTube to debunk flat Earth.
He did. I was there. I was one of the people he argued with.
Here we go. The 5 freeway is a pretty damn long freeway. So is this kind of what you're at?
Why
Need to
don't you
see?
go to a flat place instead? There's flat places, you know.
Well, I
instead
think
of
we
mountainous.
we understand.
The whole world curve.
You know what, like Highway 66 is, how it just goes throughout the whole country, right?
Route 66.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Route 6, not Highway 6. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, something that goes over states and states, not something that between one city to another city.
Well, that's why I
not
said
necessary.
Saskatchewan.
Well, actually, the 5 and the 15 cover
Kansas,
multiple states. Multiple states.
Does
But
it?
I get exactly what you're saying. I get it. But so we'll go to 66.
Sean, there are
Yeah,
pictures. There's a lot of pictures. You're just grabbing some that are on mountainous
Well,
areas.
look. Oh, mountain. It all works because
Well,
if
I'm just not
like
curious.
I was saying,
Or
like
I'm
I
just
was saying,
curious, where's this going? Where's showing the road?
yeah, because you're saying so from Reno to Salt Lake City. That's not far enough for you. You need the whole. What do you need? The world?
Yeah, that'd be far enough to actually calculation to do something.
That's better.
No, because when you put the
so
calculation into a small area, it doesn't really change anything.
Oh no, I see exactly what you're saying. Within 50 miles doesn't make a curve. I get it. But here's the problem with what you're saying. So let's just say that this is the curve, right? Obviously, there would be a curve in this distance between Salt Lake City and Reno. Well, here's your problem. It's not a ball, so you're not just building a road over a ball. You're building it over mountains, which means it goes up and it goes down. It goes up 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 feet. How do you account for curvature when you're having to go 10,000 feet up a mountain, down 10,000 feet a mountain, through valleys, around bends, around side of mountains?
I'm trying to think if there was calculations for like
you said
elevation for a mountain. No, dude, I don't live around mountains.
Okay.
When I went to school, I didn't live around mountains, so it wasn't something we really looked into, and I don't know if there's a formula or not for it. I know they usually try to stay away from mountains, the best they can.
You can't when you're crossing the Colorado and the Appalachians. There's no way.
I'm supposed to be able to see the curve at 35,000 feet. I fly at 40,000 feet. I have pictures up the yin yang. I fly between 40, sometimes a little higher. And not once did I find a curve or anything evidently like it.
But
evidently was the wrong word.
I want to stay on the surveying part of this because apparently
I'm sorry, because that's you guys' jobs. I get it.
He has this number that apparently proves what I do for a living wrong. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I live in San Diego, so Route 66 has never been in my radar. So fuck am I? Where is it? All right.
Oh, Sean.
Turn into something. It doesn't really matter. Look, here you go. That's a flat. Denver to fucking Kansas City is pretty flat. I mean,
Kansas is really flat.
Yeah, it is. That's a boring drive.
It's all flat right here.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's those Saskatchewan's just boring.
So now that you see a lot, you're on point. Go ahead.
I'm just not sure what. I mean, you're not going to see a curvature in the actual road. Is that what you're looking for?
No, well, I'm not looking for the curve. I understand what you're saying. You're saying over this distance that we're looking at right now, there is obviously a
Survey.
curve, right? There's a curve in the
I'm
distance.
saying
No, in the distance of this Highway 70, there is a curve on Earth, right? So you're saying from in this distance to build this Highway 70 that they had to get together and do the numbers you learned in school to build this highway.
the guy who's living in the city in the top left corner of Kansas, who wants to build a city to the town to the bottom right corner of Kansas, can't just go in a straight line. Can't
Yeah,
just
that's
can't
dude,
like eyeball. I guess that's a terrible way to put it.
you're 100% right because there's no way in hell anyone eyeballs a freeway. That's why we have surveyors, grade checkers, machines, and import and exporting of dirt.
Right.
I have
I'm
just
saying-
answered your question.
No.
Now, let me also. Okay, so
I'm confused.
I'm pretty sure I'm making it very clear how roads are built. You're telling me that you need this whole area to
Right.
explain.
Okay. Are you telling me there's no math in building a road from one
Oh my
part of the
God,
state to the other part of the state?
Okay, so right here, let's just say right here, this little point that I made, that's elevation 45, we'll say, right?
Just a yes or no was all I was looking for.
No, because you need to obviously we need to learn. So, and then this point
No,
right here,
dude, I'm asking just a simple question. Is there math in there at all?
absolutely.
Okay, because you just sat there and said all you need is a
I said you need survey, grade checkers, machines, and all of those run off elevations. So yes, you do need math, but you don't need curvature math.
I don't know how to tell you wrong because
you can't. I'm 100% right, and you're 100% wrong. And this isn't conspiracy. This isn't you're a flat earther. This is just my job. And like I told you, I'm not complete flat earther. I am so willing to debunk a flat earth fucking point of view that makes zero fucking sense. It's ridiculous. And on the same point, I'm more than willing to debunk a globe point of view that makes no sense, especially when it has everything to do with my job.
I know you think you explained something. I'm confused that you think you explained it.
Okay, let me go.
I
this
just
again.
don't know how to.
Okay, so in this road, Highway 70, you say there's curvature, and to build Highway 70, that curvature has to be taken into account.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, that's all you do. You just say no, it doesn't. I don't.
Okay,
I don't know how to argue something that's been taught that's being taught today in schools.
I know what the problem is. I've explained why it doesn't, but you're not explaining at all why it does. So now you explain why it does.
Because there's a curve of to the earth. That's the only explanation you can give. I don't know how else to explain a reason for a math equation for the curvature of the earth, except for saying because there's a curvature of the earth.
I gave you from San Diego to into Kansas why you don't, and you're telling me all you have to say is because there's a curve.
Oh, did you? Okay, maybe I missed it. Maybe I totally misunderstood something.
Okay, so from San Diego to let's just say to Arizona,
just a long distance. You don't even got to do all that. Well, let's dumb it down for dummies, because apparently I'm a dummy here because I don't get it.
That's the situation. That's the problem then, because you're trying to explain to me a profession that you have no clue about. So let's just say my location is right here, right?
Okay.
This blue dot. Let's say that's 0. Elevation 0. Let's say
talking about an elevation grade. Yes, I get that. Is that why you're saying that there's no curvature?
I'm telling you,
elevation would be a curvature.
So you're telling me at 10,000 feet a mountain that's curvature?
If you're looking at the planet, we're not sitting straight up. We're sitting on the side. So that'd be an elevation for the curvature.
Okay, so you're telling me that when you get on a mountain and the elevation is 10,000 feet, that's the curvature? It's not the elevation from sea level to the top of whatever you're on that mountain?
No, it is sea level for us, but we're talking about out, when you're looking in space. When we're like sideways, right? We're not like flat like it seems like we are. We're more sideways.
I'm gonna let you know right now. Do you feel like you're sideways?
That's not.
It is the point because you don't
No,
grade,
dude,
you don't do elevations based on that either.
I know. But that's what you're doing. You're telling me because we have elevation that there's no curvature.
No, I'm telling you, there's no elevation or there's no curvature based on elevation to build a road like you're saying.
That's
because
exactly what I
every
just said. You're telling me there's no curvature because there's elevation.
yes.
Yes,
So
okay.
So you're telling me from here where supposed zero is, because just so you understand that when you go to the beach, that's not sea level. You know that, right?
Okay.
There's no actual zero. That's why we have geodetic surveying marks in the middle of our country. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why, because there's no real zero. There's no sea level zero. Tides and currents make that impossible. Period.
Right.
Okay, so when you're building a road, so I have to zoom in. So you're building a road right through here. I live in this area, so I know that it's not mountains, but it's hills and many valleys and shit. You're not based on a curvature. You're based on drainage and basically not making it so it goes above 4%. Because if a road goes above 4%, then a car and manufacturers all have to account for all that crap. But basically, all you're doing is going zero all the way across, right? And anything in between 0 and 0, you have to adjust to make balance, because that's what we do. We balance a site. That's what it's called when you have a valley or a hill on one side and a valley on the other, and you have to make it even. You balance the site. There's no curve involved in building all these roads. And if I'm saying something that you don't understand, and maybe you've never been involved in building a road, so it does sound like gibberish to you, but I promise you, on my son's life, to build this road all the way to Kansas, it's based on elevation and spots. Each segment is accounted for. It's not what is it going to be 10,000 miles down this road.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with you on this. This is small amounts. When they originally made out the plan, when they sat down and said, okay, we need to make an interstate from the East Coast to the West Coast.
I'm pretty sure you're sick of those maps, right?
Well, it's just I understand what you were trying to say, and I just don't think you understand what I was trying to say.
Goddamn fucking see.
I think it's just more of maybe we're just not getting each other. I'm talking about longer distances. You're talking about shorter distances.
What do you do for a living?
What's that?
What do you do for
a living?
Oh, right now I have my own business and do stuff. I did this when I was in my 20s. That was like 20 years ago. It was a long time ago.
I mean, has there been any? I think I closed down my fucking chat room.
Well, did you, Sean? It says it's still live though.
No, it's still going.
It's still okay. I just had to go back to it. It may need to refresh itself, but we should be all good. If not, it's still being.
When you look through a telescope, it's very hard to explain this, but it's just because I'm tired. But a telescope automatically shows a curve of stuff because of the round lens, right? Because of it, because of its convex lens, or is it concave? Whatever the fuck it is. It mimics your eyes, right? So if you were to stand outside and look around, it's going to look like everything's round. But if you grab binoculars or anything that you could see even farther, that it's not this round that you see. The reason why it's hard for me to explain to you about a globe and spinning and all that shit is because I wasn't brought up to know that stuff. So when I did find it out, it just didn't it still don't make sense to me. No matter how many times someone explains it to me, it still doesn't. I can't fathom it. It trips me out because we also are lobster fishermen here, and on our off season, we take people whale watching and all that stuff, right? So during lobster season, we have a fleet, and no matter how far out our fleet is, I can see them at any time. When they're like as far away as they could possibly be, I could just zoom in and catch them. Because we always have to know where our people are, right? Because you don't get someone lost at sea over here because the Atlantic Ocean is very big. But not once have they ever dipped over anything. Like when they do appear, it looks like they're sinking down. As soon as you get out our binoculars, very high powered binoculars, they have the cameras on them. They are complete, minus the little tiny bit that's dipped into the water. But it's just like as if you're looking at them if they're in front of your face. So for me to think for a second that there's, this curve, I just never seen one. And that's why I can't fathom it, cynic, because I just can't. So I know you're open, obviously you're open-minded, because if you weren't, you wouldn't believe that there's stuff up there.
Well,
You know
when
what
I
I'm
go
saying?
out,
So,
when I go outside, and we live away from the city, but the city's close enough where you can kind of see the lights. But you
right.
look up, it's like you can see. Maybe it's an optical illusion, but it's like I can see the curvature. Like you can see it's round because the lights are shining over there.
Yeah.
And
But if
and
you
there's
if you grab
there's
binoculars and looked, you're not going to see the same thing though.
right, because you're
That's what
looking
I'm saying.
further into space.
Our eyes are, yeah, our eyes deceive us. Because we have our round lens in our eyes, it really does deceive us. And I learned that not only because of growing up knowing that, is I have read Admiral Byrd's. I watched it. Sorry, Admiral Byrd talking about his thing, but I've read World Beyond the Poles by Amedeo Giannini, and he explains it perfectly how our eyes deceive us. And if you want to read that, it's a really good book if you never read it yet. I mean, I read it when I was like younger. I'm not gonna say how old I am because women don't do that. Um, but I read it when I was about 15, 16, because that's when I first learned about this crazy idea of us spinning on a ball. So when you read this book, the first two chapters, the man explains to you, this explorer explains to you how come we see it the way we see it. And it's actually it's his he's an explorer, and he ended up going with Admiral Byrd for that trek on the other side of Antarctica. So it's a different account. Everyone always has the account of Admiral Byrd and all the stuff that he did, but this was a regular man, that wrote this book. He wasn't like this big scientist or anything. So all of the measurements he did was by balloons, and he was doing it along the way. So he was, but he explains better obviously than I do. I don't explain it all that well, but he does explain why our eyes deceive us in certain ways. But once you get to certain, and the telescope, because the telescope is modeled after our eyes. So yeah, maybe you could. I mean, it's online. It's everywhere now. Um, there's a what you call it. It's on PDF and stuff too. There's also someone who dictates the book on YouTube. If you wanted to check it out, it's really interesting. It's a really nice adventure that he went on. The whole thing is about him trying to find people to help him go, because he wanted to go and see what else is out there besides this.
What was
You
it
know,
called?
World Beyond the Poles.
World
It's an
Beyond the Poles.
awesome book. Yeah, it's really good. And it's his account, and he actually shows he draws a map in there, and it's not a regular world map or anything. It's like a flat thing that he's showing you in it why we see the way we see, and how they did it using balloons to measurements. And they go up a certain height or whatever, and they take their you got to look at it to understand what I mean, but it's really good, and it's a good read anyway. You seem like you'd probably be interested in something like that. I liked it. I
I
recommend it
look,
to
yeah,
anybody.
I look into everything. I don't mind.
Yeah. And it's like he's not a scientist, and he's not, this and that, whatever. He's a regular dude that wanted to do it, and he found a way to do it. And he went with and ended up meeting Admiral Byrd, which was a big deal recently in the last few years, because they finally let out that news article, or sorry, that news broadcast he was in, when he talks about the world beyond the poles, because he recommends actually the book, because he knows, because he went with the guy. And also, his grandson let out his diaries after he had passed away. So you can read Admiral Byrd's diaries, and he talks about this whole thing. It's really good. But yeah, you want a little bit of proof besides us saying stuff. But these guys actually did a lot of really good experiments
Well, it's
along the
just
way.
a lot of it's just simple things that I've never really had good answers for. Is why I don't look into it all that much. Like the whole
Yeah,
when you go to a beach and you can see, because I grew up in South Carolina in the summers a lot of times, and we can see
yeah,
the
I'm on the
boat
beach
goes
too.
out. You see the boats go out, and the very top of it will
Mhm.
always go out last because of the curvature of the Earth, and that's just not explained
Mm.
by flat earthers.
Sean, can you
I'm
grab?
like,
No, no, we can't explain it. Sean, can you grab the red um, video? The
the,
frig. It's a frig. It's out, and it's exactly what he just said. I want you to show him this video, and you
okay.
do see it disappear over the curve, but then something else happens.
Well, you can get a
I think it's
telescope
called.
and see it again. Is that what you're going to show me?
It's
Yeah,
called
but there's no curve. That's what I'm saying. Like
Well, no, because
what's
you
it called?
can't. I mean,
it's far out. And someone said if it's a small boat, it's you can't measure it because of a small boat. But this isn't. This is a frig. So the frigs, those are humongous. Anyway, so it does appear to go over a curve until you look at it, and then they bring it right into your view.
right, and you'll be able to do that for quite a while until it finally goes out of over the curve, depending on how. Like if you had a really
Curved though.
powerful, well, if you
It
had
is
a really
powerful.
powerful
It is very
telescope,
powerful. It
yeah, so
is. It's a
you'd
very
see
powerful
it.
telescope.
You would see it for quite a while, but there will be a point where it disappears again.
Can you dig up that video, please? I know I'm not
Can
trying
you?
to convince you of anything.
No,
I just want you to look and put yourself in my shoes for a second. Just realize if you've ever grown up this way, knowing this, like this is and then somebody tells you this other story later on in life, just like it's the opposite for you right now. You've always known it to be a
well,
globe, and then later on,
I grew up with God being real for my whole life, and then then that went to shit.
Word.
But if you have if you have a
why do
really powerful telescope, you can't sit on North Carolina's beach and see Europe.
you're silly,
No, you can't. I mean, that's just you can't. And that would make me
silly.
think there's a curvature. Can you? Can you?
You're silly. Yes, you can. There's a lot of things you can see. That's what I'm trying to help. I want Sean to find the video. Sean, I'm not near my stuff, so I can't show him.
I have no idea what I'm looking
You know
for.
what? I could give you my video. I mean, my email, and I could send it to him.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
no, it's not those.
like I
My
said,
chip shows.
I'm land. I don't
Uh,
really care about the ocean. There's sharks there.
well, I was born and raised on the ocean, so yeah,
Well, how about this one?
I have to do
There,
this stuff. Just so,
there's a tower in Dubai, and it's extremely tall. I don't have the numbers with me,
Guessing you're
but
thinking this.
you can stand at the bottom of the tower and see the sunset, and then if you can run up quick enough to the top, you can see a sunset again. I think it's about 3 minutes apart because of the
yeah, because the sun
curvature.
is moving away from us. It's not going over anything. It's moving away from us.
I don't know
It
why that
goes
works.
in
Like
a optical. It
you'd be able
goes
to see
into an
further.
optical. That one right there, that ship, that red ship, and the reason why I like that is because it's quite far away. That one is, I think it's that one. Yeah, it looks like it's that one.
Once again, yeah,
I don't know. I
before
don't.
curvature will be a thing, it's going to be an extremely long distance. The Earth
Yeah, and
is
it is. But
massive.
if you're, and exactly. So you keep saying that it goes over the curve, and then when I say, but you can, when you have these high telescopes, you can still see them. It's not going over a curve because if it
It,
was, these telescopes wouldn't pick them up.
but
They would only pick up the top.
but they don't let the video just keep on going until it does disappear again. I'm promising you, it will disappear again. Do they show it pulling up to another port?
I I've never seen this one. I don't watch the boat ones. I watch the land ones.
See, I watch the boat ones because I live this. I know how far our boats go out. See, this guy, he explains it right here. And it's not a mirage. Mirages are upside down. That's the difference. And I see them all the time, mirages. I've seen trees appear out of nowhere, out in the ocean. It's that I can't explain that shit. But, I mean, I've been out in the middle of the ocean. All of a sudden, there's a deck of trees.
Well, when I would go
You
to the
know?
beach, they had these like binocular things you could pay 50 cents to look.
Yeah, I remember
And
those. They look like aliens.
Like Alcatraz.
Yeah, like Alcatraz, yeah.
I'm
And
not trying
we
to
would
argue
sit
with you. I'm
there,
just trying to give you an example.
but we would sit there and watch the boats go, and then we put the money in the machines, and we could see it again. I mean, I understand this, but it does come to a point where it disappears again.
It doesn't go over anything. It maybe go out of your sight,
I mean, it's
out of sight of stuff,
to
but it
say
doesn't
it's
go
going.
over anything.
Yeah, to say it's going over anything probably isn't the right way to phrase it. It's not like a cliff or anything. It's such a gradual thing.
Yeah, but we should be able to see it. Able to see it happen.
Yeah, I don't.
8 inch per 8 square mile. We should be able to see it.
Hey guys,
With
I'm gonna
our Earth is what?
I gotta do something for
Whatever
like
millions.
2 minutes, so carry on.
Okay.
going.
Well, let's not talk about this. Talk about someone what you do for a living. We'll wait for Sean.
Oh, I have my own business, and
Do you love your business?
I do. It was a hobby that I turned into a business. So.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's good. I totally try to tell everybody to do that, because if you love what you do, you never
Yeah,
work
boy,
for free.
I have to work
money
my
for
ass off to make sure I can make money for the kids. It's stressful at times.
You got a lot of kids?
I got 3.
Me too. I got 3. You got boys? All boys?
All girls. All 3 of them.
Girls.
Yeah.
God love you.
13-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh my God, they're little kids.
Yeah. Well, they're not little.
Damn.
They're my kids. None of them little.
Well, to me, they're little. Oh, I mean, you're a big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get
My
it.
my littlest one just started kindergarten, and she walks in there. She's like
Uh-huh.
twice the size as everybody else. It's
That's
like she
pretty
should be a
good.
2nd grader.
Little daddy girl. That's cool. My kids are older. So you might have a really young wife, huh?
I'm sorry, what?
Right? You have a really young wife?
No.
The way you
We're
were
old.
talking, like as if you had as if you were old, but you don't seem older to me.
Yeah, I'm 40 and act like an 18-year-old.
Hey, I'm 36 and act like I'm 12.
I'm older than both of y'all, so you guys better respect your elder, man. I'm not
Better
much
be good
older,
at
but
that.
I'm older. I'm less than 100. Older than 40.
So 98.
Yeah, yeah. My grandmother died at 99. My aunt just died. She was 102.
Jesus.
I know. I don't want to live that long.
Yeah, I worked
Yeah.
in nursing
I'm
homes
like,
as a kid, and you
oh
see some
man,
people, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I want to live that long.
you should have a right. You have a right to end it if you want, right?
What's that?
Yeah. Well, actually, she was very healthy. She was going to the gym still at 102.
Jeez.
Oh, I smoke cigarettes. I will not be healthy at 76.
Huh, right.
That's my
I'm
cutoff.
with you.
That's my
Well,
cutoff
you
right
can
there.
stop smoking now.
Nah,
Your body don't take. It keeps recycling.
nah, I'm good. I'm good. Nah, I like it.
I'm gonna knock you out, man. I think you like fighting with me, Sean.
I'm a fighter. That's
I think
what
you enjoy it. I think you enjoy it. Yeah, you are, right? You little shit. I'm gonna beat your ass.
I don't know if I don't think that'll be
afraid.
that big.
So do you guys go
Shit,
to channels that like debunk flat Earth or anything?
I don't
I do.
have to.
I do.
I don't
I,
have to.
like I said, I'm not.
Why
I'm
would
not.
I stress myself out with people that don't understand something?
I'm
You know
I'm
what?
not
I don't.
a full flat earther. So like, I'm not going like I'm not saying everything is fake. Like flat earthers are generally, not all, but a lot of them say no, we can't get to space. I fully believe we have satellites and us. I'm literally learning. I'm
Yeah,
not.
but you know what, Char?
just
This
there.
is what I don't get. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I don't get. I know the Earth is flat, but I also know there's stuff above me. You know, I'm not one of those people, and I also believe in the Creator. But I'm also a Native woman, so I believe in the stuff that I'm taught. You know, and how we're taught as a people. It doesn't look like a fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't.
Well, see, that's the thing.
You know,
There's so many things that can be this way or that way. To say we know, period, is ridiculous.
I do know.
You can,
Period.
I just can't say it. I
Not
can't.
we.
But see, that's how I am, and you
Me.
know that. But
I
you
know
know
how
me.
you are. You're
You
stubborn
know,
as shit. Yeah.
So
I
See, you
question
and him,
everything.
you and Cynic should be best friends. Seriously.
We could. I'm telling you, but he don't realize it. He don't want to listen to me about survey.
Well, you totally went over my head, so I had to step away because, like, I would have just argued over nothing because I don't understand it. I just know when I was in Saskatchewan, they never had to correct the road. They never had to. That's 760 miles. You know, they never had to correct that fucking road to
See,
make
that's
a
why
curve. Like, they were.
a lot of
I don't
places,
get that shit.
you know, how roads have a hump.
So I'm a surveyor.
Most of the roads have that hump because it's most of the roads are either going uphill or flat. So I mean, you have to have drainage, and that's the most important thing on a road. That's I mean, and it's like I said, I could see their like I thought originally the Golden Gate Bridge was based on curvature, but when I went into it and I actually did the numbers, it didn't make sense for it to be curvature more than it being the fact that that middle was supporting so much weight that it has to be like like what do you call
Well,
them
our bridge, the PEI bridge, is long ass motherfucking bridge, and they never had a correct for a curve
well
ever.
also what they'll notice is that they have to go to the Golden Gate Bridge and tighten those cables up. I think it's every 6 or 7 years because it starts to sag, and that's why it does that. I know I had something in my head that was going to explain why you have to have that hump because there's other things that do or long bed big rigs. You know the flatbed big rigs that have 40-foot trailers.
Yes.
If nothing's on them, they have that bow up. That way,
Yeah.
because put so much weight on it, it then flattens out, and that's the same reason bridges do it.
So, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry.
What's up,
Cynic.
dude? Up?
Having that name, having that name, even it's 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 hard not to think that you are a cynic when I know you're really not. Oh, because you believe in space stuff.
Well,
I ain't gonna
listen,
lie.
Like you do.
I'm a
I thought you were
cynical
a troll,
person.
but you're not.
No, I just ask
You're
questions
not.
about anything. I like
You,
looking at
you
things.
just like to argue.
And I
Yeah,
wasn't mad.
that's definitely part of it.
Oh hell yeah,
You
I
do.
wasn't. And
You
trust me,
like
I
to
wasn't mad.
debate. Same
I
with
get
Sean. He likes to
I get
debate. He
really
loves
fired
it.
up. I just get fired up.
I don't. I'm kind. And I have to calm Sean down,
Well, maybe we can answer this. Why would people want you to think it's round and not flat?
The
It's
way
all
I've
about the
heard it,
money, honey.
the way it was explained to me, and like I
Power.
said, I play devil's advocate with everything. That's why I'm not just straight flat Earth. Um, the way it was explained to me is basically if, and it made sense. If you tell people you know what's out there and how it is, they're less inclined to want to explore themselves. And that's what they explained to me. I'm still looking into all that stuff, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's why, but that's what made sense.
Yeah, I'm not. No, that's not to be an ass, but that if they just told you it was flat, we'd
When
do
someone
the
tells me
same.
not to be, that means you're going to be an ass.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But
Look,
that doesn't make any
You
sense
know?
because if they just originally told you it was
How
flat,
come
they could say the same thing. If
yeah,
people are
there's
trying to
not
convince you
one?
it's round.
but
Right.
that's
How
why
come
that
there's not
doesn't
one? How come there's
make
not
it.
one kick-ass
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
movie about flat Earth?
There's a
They
lot of
want.
documentaries on YouTube. They're
Oh,
not very
that's
good
not the
though.
same.
Oh, and that's the other thing. I
I could
feel that
take you
anybody that
for
makes
you
everything
a
on YouTube
cynic.
should just stop. You- YouTube is not. It's a visual for stuff you've learned off of YouTube.
Cynic. They
YouTube
took
cannot
down
be. Well,
53. They took down 53 of my videos.
Why?
53
are
What'd
we
you
of my
do?
are we still
personal
watching?
videos.
Are we watching
Yeah,
this still?
I'm
Uh,
watching it because I love that.
Okay, I was just saying. I got ADD and I haven't checked the chat in like 10 minutes, and it's like really getting
Oh,
me.
I'm not watching. Yeah, I can't
yeah,
post, man.
I just assumed everybody was going to call me names, so I didn't even look at the chat.
Yeah,
Actually,
they probably are.
no,
Probably
no.
call me names too, though, Cynic.
When
They
I
do
was in
that to
there,
me too.
they weren't, dude. I can tell you right now, you are cool. Don't worry about it. They deal with a lot of bullshit, and that was
I
why
don't
I
think
was
he
able
even
to
cares.
talk. I don't think he does either. But good on you.
Yeah.
You have thick skin.
Uh,
Good. You need
the
to when
other
you want
day,
to
they couldn't
question
wait
other
just
people.
sticking on Sean.
No,
I'll
I
be right
wasn't saying
back
anything
after
important.
charge. By the
Like I
way,
said,
thank you because I had, like you told me last night. I wish you would have told me when the show was still on, though. I had
I
to uninstall it and reinstall it.
yeah, that's what Dre Mattis had to do because I didn't realize it was to that extreme for you. Because I didn't remember he said that. He told
Oh,
me
I
he was like,
was
I couldn't get the
pissed.
chat, and then I couldn't get into any of them. I had to restart it, and I was like, oh crap, that's the same thing. I think that guy had enough time to hack only you or snipe only you, and so you were the only one it held to. Instead of
Oh, I was
sniping the hangout,
pissed.
he sniped you.
You know,
Yeah, but they kicked him out. When they kicked him out, like he was only
But
barely in there. Oh, you threw him out, Sean.
yeah, but so what happens is it's kind of like a loading, the loading bar that builds up. It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
They need time to do it, and so if you only give them a certain
I
amount,
would have been close to say.
so like maybe 2 seconds faster, yeah.
Oh, I would have been talking too because I would have been
But
lit
yeah,
up, right?
I also watched the chat and the panel at the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I watched both at the same time, so it's kind of like I can only get to it as fast as I can.
Oh, fuck, I was pissed, man. I was so pissed. I was trying so hard to get in there because I've been
I,
sniped before when I was on Tiffany's channel. Was it Not Tiffany? Sorry.
That is so cute. I'm proud of her. She became like a little troll sniper, but she has not.
Yeah,
She hasn't even dipped into
she
what really
loves it, but they
happened.
follow her now, Sean. You know that, right? They
Oh,
follow her everywhere now
you do
because
know
they know
that
they.
they've done background checks and they've already started putting my info out in streams and stuff. I mean, I don't got nothing to hide, so I can give a shit less. But they've
wait,
already
wait, what?
dude.
What?
Yes, the
Wait a
trolls.
Yeah, that's
So
how ignorant they
we
are.
were thanking you for not being a troll. It's because we know what a real troll's like, dude. So
Yeah,
they don't like me
fucking
because
assholes.
I'm going over the flat Earth curve. So what they've now done is they follow me. They go in my chats. We have to
Yeah.
start bumping them all. So one of them, Tim, I call him Tim Burton and the Muppets. They've gone. They've gone online. They've gone online. Gone through my background check. You know how you do a background check on people, and
Yeah.
they go to a room or a channel I'm at, and they'll go, "Hey, how's Tracy?" Which is my brother's wife, and they just start giving out, "How's your company doing?" Like
That
I
is
don't care, but
crazy.
Oh,
oh
Why?
they're
yeah, dog,
fucking assholes,
they're gonna
man.
Why are they doing this?
oh,
They follow him and Tiffany around everywhere.
I mean,
and
did you do something to them, or do they
yeah,
just mad because
I
you're a flat earther?
They love
I
it.
uttered
They
flat
love
Earth.
it.
You know how I sent you an invite instead of putting the hangout in the chat? Because if I put it in the chat, they'll get it, and then they'll try to get in here in the hangout, and
They'll
they'll
snipe
snipe it,
us,
and they'll end the whole thing.
Oh
which they
man,
did to me
that
yesterday.
sucks, dude.
Oh, see, that's why everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Is he a troll? Should we ban him?" Like that's why everyone was like that. You're not worth banning. You're cool, but that's why everyone in the chat was
Not
like,
worth banning.
I don't understand why somebody would try to take another person down, especially if you disagree. I like talking to people I disagree with.
"Oh,
I don't.
you haven't watched the chat at all, have you?"
No, I haven't looked at all. I told you, I just assumed they were calling me shit. So
No, not you, dude.
I
They,
don't
for
even look in the
the
chat, man.
first
I
the first
can't.
hour and a
I
half.
can't.
Yeah, the first hour and a half, it was my mods just kicking them out so they wouldn't snipe the chat.
that
Yeah,
sucks, man.
they're pretty mean people.
Is there a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
then
them?
when they know
Or?
where they are, they'll follow. Yeah, and then well,
Um,
actually, it isn't a lot of them. What they do is they
if,
create multiple accounts. So
Yeah,
they
that's
turn
what I
around
mean.
and when you keep throwing out one account, the other one comes in, and then they'll
I'd
follow
say
them
there's a
around to it.
solid
Like if they.
I say there's a solid 50 of them, but they account for probably 200.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have 14 people watching, but I'll have 200 people viewed, and that's mostly the trolls. I mean, I thank them for it. Thank you guys, but
Wow.
yeah, that's bad. It's real
I'll
bad.
get I'll get I'll get death threats here and there, but nothing major. Like,
Oh, I got
Oh
those
my
too.
god.
I
get
haven't
death
gotten them
threats
like
sometimes.
I haven't got like phone calls, but they threaten me all the time. Dude,
as a YouTuber, right?
yeah, you know how I was typing flat Earth frontline mod squad soldiers? That man, I'm on the front line. You have no clue. I sit in the
I'm a
chats
mod
and I
squad.
just ban people. That's like what
Yeah,
I
Mod
do.
squad.
I didn't know it was this gangster over in the flat Earth
Oh,
community.
This
next time
gangster.
you go into a flat Earth chat and you're like on the panel, watch the chat because you'll see what happens.
Don't
Well,
fucking
the very
gangster.
few that I've gotten into, I don't really see any trolls, and if I do, they're usually taken out pretty quickly. So I just didn't know there was that much of an interaction.
No, that's the ones that like
Oh, it
just
gets
want to be known,
ridiculous.
but when they hate the person that's streaming, they blow it the f up.
Really?
Not only that, Sean, you know what Sean did though? He took one of the master trolls and had him on his show, and they just fucking argued.
I made him my bitch because he likes to be the alpha. So I decided I was going to invite him on my
Alpha.
panel, just cut him off the whole time,
He
and
is the
make him my
alpha.
bitch.
Is that
I made
I saw one of your videos where you were just arguing with a guy that had like a unicorn rainbow or something on him?
that was the stream.
That's Tim.
And then there was
Yeah.
one or two before that where I just say, "Hey Tim, fuck
Dude,
you."
That was entertaining though. That's you need to do more streams. That's why I like people that disagree, because that shit can be entertaining.
Oh no, I enjoyed it. But see what happened is I did probably 4 or 5 of those streams in a row like that because they kept coming into my chats. They were following me around. But I'm not here to do that. I'm here to, I really want to learn everything I can, flat or globe. And it took me away from that. And it literally, like, I'd go around the different channels, and instead of trying to learn, I'd be more interacting with them. So I'm trying to, like, get away from that a little bit.
Yeah,
like, I'm really
it can get old.
Yeah, so I mean, you maybe because you haven't really seen the real grunt of it, but it doesn't get frustrating, but it's like, dude, like, what are you guys doing? You guys are taking it like really far over fucking YouTube.
Right.
I mean, but other than that, I'm not worried about any of them because if I go to one of the flat Earth meetups, I guarantee you, Tim ain't gonna act like that. Tim's gonna act like a bitch because he knows if he ever talks to me in person like he did on this YouTube, I would bitch slap him. That's all there is to it.
Getting bitch slapped over flat Earth. That's
well,
great.
if some stranger background checked you and then put your shit out on the internet, how would you feel about the man? I mean, personally,
he's the guy who did that.
Yeah, I'm not a pedophile.
Yeah, I'd bitch slap that
I've
guy.
never raped nobody, so I have nothing in my background that I got to worry about. Hey, I've gotten arrested for smoking weed and failure to appear on tickets, but I have no felonies. So what are you going to tell people that I can't tell them my damn self? My brother's name is Marlon. His wife's name is Tracy. He has 2 nephews. Now, that's the if those motherfuckers ever touch on my nephews or my son, I will find them. And I promise you, I will go to jail with a smile on my face.
You know, there's been stories on like YouTube beef that's taking it to that, crazy level.
Only my nephews and my son will that happen. But I promise you it will happen if it comes to that.
Yeah.
But you have killed kids, so you kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, nobody's dumb enough to come to where I live.
That's the other thing. They're not completely dumb because they do seem to have a boundary because they've never they've never said anything about my son or my nephews. And so I believe they're just trying to get me going without trying to get killed.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what trolls do, right? I mean, it's like entertaining. They're just entertaining themselves.
They enjoy it. And I told Tiffany, Tiffany knows this. I said, stop mentioning them when you're in live stream. Because once you stop mentioning them, like saying, like she calls them right out when she's talking, like say, hey, you, and she talks to them, they love that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they say, oh my God, they just mentioned me. Yeah.
Feeding the trolls.
I don't bother. I don't bother at all. They say some really malicious shit about me, but I don't care.
Well, when I have them in my chat, I try to get them on to have a conversation, and very rarely will any of them do it.
Okay, well, our trolls,
they'll
jump on the panels, and then they'll pass it along and snipe it. Dude, they have an organization, so they have a leader. They even have flat earthers that are on their side who get on the panels or get friends with us to be able to get the links to be able to pass it on.
Yeah, thank God I don't got those kind of fucking enemies.
They sit in other chat rooms just discussing
who
we're all going to go to.
I watch though.
Oh, dude, I'm crazy. I know every sniper. I know every troll. I know all. I know pretty much almost all of their fake names. Like I have a list of 80 people that are trolls that I pass around to channels that like get fucked with trolls a lot. If
See,
you
I
want
was
one, I
on
can.
that. I was on that what is it, food shelter clothing guy?
Oh, food shelter logic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Dread or
uh,
Logic. Sorry, I
Logic.
like Logic.
that dude's interesting. He's entertaining. He got some
Yeah,
good
I like him.
live streams. But
Yeah.
when I would chat, people would just assume that I'm a troll and go at me.
Okay.
I'm
So
surprised I never got blocked.
what happens is
Right?
you deal with enough people that question everything, and like I said, when it's just like text messages, you can't really tell where someone's coming from in words, just words. So when you've seen trolls like question everything, the assholes over and over again, I'm not gonna. I assume everybody who's not flat Earth is a troll until, unfortunately, I get to find out who they are. For instance, you are not a troll. You are actually a cool fucking person who questions everything. That's all that is. That's all that is. And there's a huge difference. But
Right.
in a
Right,
chat,
there's
you
a big
can't tell that
difference.
because that's where I started.
They just sit
I
there
was
and throw
I was
insult.
I'm a glober. I
They
was a
just throw
glober.
insults.
Yeah, I was a glober, but
Hey, Sean.
I was accepted by all the flat earthers because I wasn't an asshole.
Oh,
So
you started
if
off
you,
as a round guy
oh,
and they talked to
absolutely, and
Yep, he did.
I would
I was
I would
there.
I would debate them like you're debating me. I wasn't disrespectful at all. So there's no reason for them to think I was a troll. And then they became my family. Like I was full globe, and they'd invite me to the panels. We have conversations, we have discussions, we had debates, and it's if you come to people with different views with respect, they're gonna give you respect. But like I said, there's so many that don't. That everyone's standoffish right away. Period.
Yeah, well, when you're used to people treating you like shit, then you think that automatically. Well, not me, mind you, but I see it in front of me sometimes. When you're used to people automatically jumping to conclusions and treating you a certain way, then as soon as someone says anything that even remotely sounds like what the other ones say, you're automatically going to think that this one's going to do the same fucking thing.
Well, now that you guys told me about how crazy the trolls are, I understand more about how somebody would get
Yeah,
maybe
that's why
this guy's
Tom.
So
asking
upset.
too many questions. This guy's being too much of
Excuse me.
If you just
Hmm.
add like a no disrespect or a I'm not trying to be disrespectful, they'll kind of back off a little bit, and then as you come around, like if you go to Logics again, I swear to God, I'll back you, dog. I'll make sure they know you're not a troll. You just question, and you'll be good to go. You'll probably be
I
able to go.
will too. You're
I
very
just don't
kind to
like
me.
you're cool. Everyone worries about trolls. They don't care about someone who questions everything because everybody
The thing
does.
that ruins the show, it really does ruin a show when somebody's being ignorant. Like not like not being um inquisitive. Um, but when they're sitting there like putting you down because of the color of your skin or because you talk a certain way or whatever, instead of like listening to what you're talking about and they're nitpicking and doing personal attacks, you know,
yeah.
that's not a fun show.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
whole intricacy of why things are on the way they are in the flat Earth, and I understood that. That's why I was able basically to be able to chill because I got the fact that yeah, they're standoffish because most Globers when they come at them like asshole. There are the few that don't,
They,
but it takes a second for them to realize that.
Like I said,
yeah.
I don't even really care if the earth is round or flat. It's not really a big deal to me.
And
I'm
that's
more
even
interested in the people that are interested in it.
and
Yeah.
that is so fine that you'll probably end up we'll see you say what's up and then want to talk to you some more about it,
Yeah.
dude.
But
I'm telling you
we
now.
have to
I already had
as
I
human beings we have to unify at some point, regardless of whatever the hell we're living on.
exactly.
Because there's bigger
And like
fuckery going on right now.
I didn't know we were going to talk about surveying, so I didn't like have like a planned out discussion over it. So I did get a little worked up. But trust me, I wasn't mad. But like I would love for you to come back and where it's more planned, so we can have a structured talk about it where I don't get worked up or I understand what you're wanting to know a little bit better, stuff like that. But it's our first meeting and first time talking, so I had no clue what to expect, and I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure you thought I was just going to kick you out.
Well, honestly, man, I was really disappointed when I'm sitting here setting everything up to have a debate with you, and then or whatever conversation, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then I come over here because I saw you live streaming, and you were like, "Nah, I'm not going over there. Screw that." I'm like, "Oh,
Honestly, 'cause I was trying to figure out how to get link them, and
yeah,
I've
I saw that."
and I'm trying to I'm trying to build this up because like I'm literally, if you look at my dates, I am so new to this, it's ridiculous. I do apologize. I should have just went over there because in the tweeter fucking messages things, I did say I would. I promise you, we should have another conversation, and it will be on your terms, 100%. I promise. I won't do that again.
That's cool, man.
I would definitely like to have another conversation about it, where it's more ready, both more ready for it, especially because we know what to expect now.
Right. Yeah, first meetings. I get it. What was your ma'am's name?
The channel we're at.
The girl who's in here with us.
Oh, Marlena.
Marlena, it was fun talking to you, and I hope you start up another channel about the Native American stuff, because I actually am interested in that stuff.
Everyone keeps telling her to.
Yeah, she needs to. Not very many people get to do stuff like that.
Yep.
And Sean, is that your name?
Yes.
Hey, you did I saw a picture. You do jiu-jitsu?
Yes, sir. I fight.
What belt are you?
Blue belt, 6-year blue belt.
6-year blue belt. I did taekwondo and got my black belt and rolled around with jiu-jitsu people after class. I wish I would have taken jiu-jitsu. It's much better.
Oh, so fun. I should be a purple belt, but my coach, he doesn't believe in belting through the structure. He wants to know you're there. So I did 4 years of grappling without any training at all, just watching YouTube. And then I started training. So I was a blue belt when I started as a white belt. And then I did white belt for 3 years. And then I've been a blue belt for 3 years. So, I mean, I'm definitely skill level higher than the blue belt. But, I've been doing it for a while. It's my passion. I love it.
What's your favorite choke out or submission?
I want to say the Kimura, but I get a lot of arm bars. My favorite I've got so far is a Von Flute choke. I'm not sure if you know what a head and arm triangle is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Perfect. So imagine I'm in your guard and I do that.
Oh yeah,
so I've seen that. That was my by far favorite submission I've ever gotten on somebody.
Well, man, it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you letting me swing by.
Hey, man, I appreciate you being on and being cool. Again, I like to do it again and structure and like I said, if I see you in chats and our channels, I'll make sure everybody knows you're cool. You have questions. That's it.
All right, Brett, buddy. I appreciate it. And
yep.
I'm going to head out.
Yes, I'm tired as suck, and I don't usually do this long anyway.
All right, man. Thanks.
Have a good one. Marlena, any videos you want to... Or, hey, if you're still there, you want to promote anything?
All right. Oh, my God. He left.
Marlena, you want to promote anything?
My channel, the Marlena Effect. That's good. I'm going to... There's the chemtrail stuff on there, but I am going to start my Mandela videos. I have like one on there. It was an introduction. It has really a lot of substance or anything to it. So tomorrow we start our live streams. I say that every day, but tomorrow is a good day. I was just having a hard time. Today we were supposed to do stuff, but I had to drive to Nova Scotia. So yeah, the Marlena Effect is my channel.
And I'm going to say, everybody in this chat and watching this video at some point in time, if she does not have a channel anytime soon, I want everyone to mass message her telling her to make a channel, because she has been saying this for a very long time and she has a lot of great things to say and I want to hear it.
I do have a YouTube channel, the Marlena Effect, but like you said, I will.
I want streams. I want content.
You got it. You have to be on my show, though.
Absolutely.
Cool. Because I'd like you to be on there when I explain some stuff. Maybe it'll trip you out a little bit.
Absolutely.
And I think shock factor is the best thing to do with shock factor.
Absolutely.
Into shocking anybody into more waking up as more than they are. Because I know you're woken up, but even more.
You're the
Because
reason I believe in chemtrails.
you're so wonderful. Well,
Yay.
it's not a belief; it's the truth. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
I am
look,
no longer. You're right.
look
I
it
am no
up.
longer a skeptic.
Yeah, yeah. It's sad, you know, especially when they tell you they're doing it. Now they don't even
Yeah.
care. They don't fucking hide it.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
not even a
mean?
little
They're
bit.
not even a
I remember when I
small.
first heard about it. When I first heard about it, it was like random cities, a couple lines.
Yep.
That's why I felt the way it is. But now you see all those checkered patterns, and
Yeah.
they're too low. I get it now. Like I looked up, I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense at all.
No, and then you know what? One time, I have a video on there where it was all these flakes coming out of the sky, and it looked like it was fucking snowing in the summertime.
Yeah. See
And I
that?
videotaped the damn shit, man. I didn't go outside. I videotaped it from my window because I said I don't want this shit land on me. What do
You know
I
what
know
you
what the
do?
fuck it
You
is?
could show that on your next stream.
I will.
You
I
look
will.
really.
It's disgusting. It's freaky. It's scary. And then a week before, I couldn't even get it the video because these things were so light you couldn't get it in the video. But you know how when you see a spider web, you know, we walk through like that one line of web and it like gets on you, whatever.
Yeah, and you
There
freak
was
out
a
for like
whole
an hour.
bunch of those falling from the sky, Sean.
That's crazy.
A
No,
whole bunch of strings. It looked like hair falling from the sky. And
I've
I
become
tried very
agoraphobic.
hard to record it. Pardon?
I've become agoraphobic. So you're scared to go outside.
You know, I would be too. If I didn't have to go out, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? It freaks me out because you know, I know. Listen to me. I am fucking congested as hell. And I watch these chemtrails all my whole way down and my way back from Nova Scotia. That's a long drive. It's like, it was like I left at noon and I got back at noon. So I mean at midnight. So it took me 12 hours
Damn, that's
to
just
get
too
there, man.
long. Fuck that.
Yeah, it was a long fucking drive. And alone on my way back, I seen shit like something run across the street. Didn't know what the hell it was. It wasn't an animal. It was on two legs, but it was like it ran so fast in front of me. I
Yeah,
don't know what it was made of.
I
Yeah, it
don't
freaked
know
me
about
right
that.
out.
I'll speed up and hit
In
it.
the middle of the woods. Oh no, it went really fast. Like you couldn't. It was too fast to even try to hit. If I was even going to. But no, I don't know even what it was made of. Yeah.
All right, Marlena, I am so tired. I'm
I
talking.
know, me too.
More.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning here.
Thank you so much. You know, you're
You're
amazing
welcome.
with Flat Earth, and I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you
Um,
so much. I appreciate you too, Sean.
Mod Squad, you
Mod
guys,
Squad, brother.
you guys are amazing.
Glad.
Um,
They're
I'm
awesome.
so, and I only do this stream because you guys are here. I mean, realistically, I could still do it if you weren't, but thank you for being here. Um, uh, like I said, and I say it every time, I promise you it will get better. It will get more structured. I'm very happy that I'd like to thank Cynic for coming in and not being an asshole. He was actually a really cool dude. I do get worked up at times, and you all know that, so I will not apologize for it. um, and I will see you guys very, very soon in some other channel, some other time, banning somebody or but not banning somebody. You know how it works. I'm done talking. I hate you all. Go away.